Long have I waited.
Anyway, who would like to give us a little recap of the 2-hour call to tech support we had last time?
Read the FAQ, basically.
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
I can do that. On the closing of gates, a fear rises anew, fleeing from darkness into desert's warm embrace. A grandmother calms nerves with cookies and kindness, returning to the dim, instead of darkness, the light of knowledge to be found. Much was hidden, unknown, or restricted, though much more was uncovered. A war long past, though none would win, a project for survival, shrouded in mystery and deliberate subterfuge. 4 gathered in darkness, 2 human, 2 a bit more or less, and 1 with another along for the ride. The rider poked, prodded, and provoked, forced to reveal unwanted truths, and perhaps to act with more kindness to its host. A place of healing revealed, and new paths set. With 2 crystals charged and a 3rd on the go, safety was left, to find lost souls hanging from above, though not yet gone from this world.
Was that in iambic pentameter or something?
No.
Did it,
But it is kind of
that
like...
had some fucking flow to it. That point of inspiration, absolutely. Like, fair fucking play. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you guys started off sending with Lily casting command on Miss and Failing. You had a bit of a conversation there. You spoken to a mouse. It was excellent. We saw a very heavy man clunking up some stairs like the Hulk. Then basically you just chatted to
You seem very dense.
the servitor in subsite 334 for I think like 3 real life hours, which was a workout for my brain, I assure you. And then morning came, you spied some figures standing among the mercy trees in next to where you had tied up your beetle and your cart and Kevin the ant, who you had picked up along the way. You went a little closer, investigated. Lily and Will clunked up in their heavy armour up the back entrance and the front entrance, and Augustine and Ms. crept up probably one of these wooden walkways somewhere over here. And as you approached these things, stealthy as you were, I think nat 22 or something on there. Yeah, 20. Yeah, natural 20 for a 20 total on the. Yeah, still pretty good. So one of these creatures burst through the ropes that are holding it. This grotesque, bloated tongue fell out of the mouth and struck Augustine, these long raking claw marks across the chest, but you managed to shake off whatever paralysis was trying to grip through your muscles and bones to chill the very soul beneath. And if we could have some music.
You control it.
Oh, okay.
You
Is it muted there?
I didn't.
Oh, that's just me then, yeah.
I thought you...
Nope.
Nope.
I thought the actual thing was playing.
No.
No, I am simply a boob.
In this case, no.
I could have sworn I saw you pause it.
I tried to.
I
and
agree.
then-
I
did try that.
Thanks, Brad, for fixing
Nice.
this.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Brad.
Cool. Okay. So, going first, you see the ghoul down there to the south, the southernmost one, yeah, strains against its bonds and tries to burst the ropes that hold it, and it cannot. Augustine, it is your go.
Come around this side and then...
Absolutely, yeah. Fire away.
That would be a 14 to hit.
A 14 to hit, you say. That will hit, yes.
7 damage.
You see this this creature, this undead caravan guard mercenary, is not wearing particularly armor. Looks like lightly armored. Maybe was wearing leather, but you know, no longer has the skill to bring that armor to bear. So you just slash it straight across the chest, and it's as it sort of reaches out for you. Is that 7 total? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Okay, and then it's going to be Lily. You can hear the sound of steel ringing free from a scabbard and this hissing that is getting louder and louder.
Yep. So I will enter into the Mercy Trees area, seeing the pie. They're only some of them are free right now, right?
Only the
Just
one up
one.
north next to Augustine, it has burst its bonds, yeah.
Okay, so that's the one. Lily will just hold out her left hand. It glows with white light, and a guiding bolt shoot from it.
Fantastic. Yeah, roll attack roll.
19 plus 6, so 25.
Yeah, 2 is going to hit.
So 46 damage. 5, 7, 12, 18.
18 points of damage. Yeah, you... Now,
What did you use, right?
guiding bolt.
I rolled 2 5s, a 6, and a 2.
Nice.
Nice. Now you know that the being that grants you your magic has a particular distaste.
Yeah.
Not just for the undead, but for the natural undead, for those that have been awakened through desecration of life, not even for a purpose or for a reason. And this miniature, pure white sun blossoms in your palm and bursts through the back of the creature's head. Augustine, in front of it, you see its eyes light from the front, and the head is gone as it topples to the floor. That is, just fucking 0. Cool. In that case, that is Will. You are next.
Somebody would have had advantage.
Okay, I'm just going to scramble up here.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Restrain things. Thank you.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got these acrylic rings.
Wrong.
If I didn't have these, I'd be asking Brad to print some.
That's fair.
Yeah, I might see if I can find one for my my Hexblade Curse.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, you step up into this sort of upper ring where the horses, the ant and the beetle and the cart are somewhere in here. They're probably on the lower level, actually. You can see, these 3 struggling, clearly undead creatures still hanging like 2 feet off the ground by their necks, and 1 smoking crater on a neck.
And that one's not moving anymore.
No.
You gotta check
Hey,
sometimes.
wise to check, but there's no kill like overkill, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to, for my bonus action, I'm going to put a curse on probably this one.
Cool. Yeah, you see Will's eye flare with this crimson light. Targeting protocol engaged.
And because it's restrained,
You get advantage.
whip out the sword cane.
Yeah. Again, steel ringing clear of a scabbard.
Jingle jangle. Ooh, that's going to be a hit at a natural 16 plus,
Oh, very nice.
plus 6.
Yeah, roll damage. Augustine, can I get a perception check from you? As you
12 damage.
12 damage, fantastic. As you struck across the chest of that ghoul, you slashed it. You feel the pocket where you keep your business card become hot. There's a
I rolled for that last time.
yeah. Oh yeah, great. Yeah. I couldn't remember if I told you not. Cool. So yeah, 12 damage.
12 damage.
Fantastic. Yeah, you see
When
the
I
sword cane, but with that slight crackle of energy around it, where your Hexblade's curse, the little cloud of nanites that accompanies the blade, slashes in, and then not only does he get the slash of the core, but also it begins to eat away at just the edges of the wound as well. Cool. So the one who is dead, who was going to go next. So, yes, most certainly. So that one there, no longer restrained. and is going to shamble over, I think movement, to Miz and try and take a swing. Miz, what's your AC? I doubt that's going to hit.
14.
That doesn't hit, no. So you see this thing lunging at you with like these long, like the fingers have sort of distended into these sharp claws with the nails of. You know how there's that myth that the nails continue to grow after death because the body dehydrates? Yeah, it's that, but it doesn't seem like a myth. Is this soldier looks like he in life in like his mid-40s, wearing that sort of Revolutionary War coat, stumbles towards you and just goes for the neck with the claws, misses you. It is your turn.
We might have covered this at the end of the last one. Do these appear to be humans as opposed
They
to
are-
Koyatl?
These are humans, yeah. They are humans in Firebird dress. Yeah.
Cool. Right.
This one has what you get carved onto his chest.
Yes, that was it, wasn't it? Yeah. So, if I were to move there,
Yeah.
are we allowing 30-foot length but only a 5-foot width? Are we saying it would get those two but miss?
Let's find out.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can go on.
Dusty River.
Because it would be.
How much?
That's gonna. I think from you right now, that's gonna hit.
Oh yeah, of course,
Yeah.
because it's.
Yeah, these two.
You could absolutely
Yeah.
step one to the side.
I think I might go do.
Yeah, that would easily miss them. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, go for it.
So- Okay, cool. So, I'll I'll grab a couple of coloured vials, pour one into the other, and then literally chuck it out as it explodes in an acidic line.
Some inadvisable chemistry happens.
Yes.
As you mix two reagents together and hope for the best. Like this horrible, acrid, viscous piranha solution just out from your outstretched hands. What do they? Is that a save on their part?
Yeah, can I have a dex save, please?
They are not wonderful at dex saves, but they do have a bonus. So
One of them is restrained as well.
So it's disadvantage.
yeah. Well, he got a 5 on his first one, so the closest one gets a 5 and a 3 at disadvantage. So for a 7 and a 5 total, but
that's
you know
a
that
fail.
fails. The other one rolls a 19 on the die.
So-
But that one is also restrained. Am I right?
Yeah, but
This one's restrained. This one is not.
So that one rolls a 5. That one rolls a 3 and a 19. So yes, they both fail. So I was working away, but I got the wrong one.
Okay, so they're now both covered in acid that starts to.
Yeah, you see the
slowly
cloth and the
eat away.
flesh.
It's going to
Seeds.
need to wear those ropes, isn't it?
For sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna hang it around his neck.
However, depending on how much damage this does, may not matter.
So it will take 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of its turns.
Cool. Okay. So do they take anything immediately, or is it just at the start of the turn? It says Tasha's Caustic Brew.
Yes. Because it says 2d4 acid damage, but
This was a Sen special,
then
wasn't it?
in brackets it says a creature covered in acid takes 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of its turns. So I'd assume.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, when they start their turns, they will be taking acid damage.
Cool.
Cool. Well, it's this... do you want to roll 2d4 then? Because it is the final ghoul's turn. Yeah.
Lovely. That's 2 and 1, 3 acid damage.
Okay, that one struggles against its ropes, doesn't manage to succeed, but the acid this turn will eat enough of the ropes away that one is now free. So, yeah, remove the restraint. It did manage to burst them with its strength. They're going for an athletics check to do that. Didn't manage it, but it's sort of, you see, like the noose that is already like under the tension of the weight of the corpse, that and drops them onto the floor.
I was deaf and I misread that as decaffeinated because it was upside down.
I think we might want to change the music because 1940s boardwalk might be inappropriate.
I mean, I guess. You're entitled to your opinion, I suppose.
Just decided to randomly start playing. That's fine.
Yeah. Cool. I give you robot scrapyard.
That's fine. Just...
Bum bum bum.
Yo.
I am a robot scrapyard. Cool. That was like a turn. Let's use number 3. We are back to the top of the turn. So that guy at the bottom who is straining against ropes, still restrained, is going to take 2d4 acid damage.
No,
this
that guy does
he's,
not.
He's fine.
Oh, sorry.
He was
Okay.
not
So that's the guy who got stabbed. That's the one that took the acid damage.
Correct.
Okay, cool. In which case he is going to. Oh yeah, that'll get out. Will AC?
AC is 19.
No.
Nice.
Jeez.
Embarrassingly not. That was literally 10 short as a total of your AC. Yeah, again, this thing. Basically, this thing pulls its claws back and goes for like a full, like, Left 4 Dead witch kind of double slash. And it hits your duster, rips the duster, gets to the flesh underneath, and like scores across, and you can see metal underneath through the rents in the skin, which sort of start to close up again. You are uninjured. Augustine. Aha! The traditional...
That would be 25.
That's gonna hit, yeah, for real. So this is the one that's taken the acid damage.
This one hasn't taken acid damage yet.
This close one hasn't?
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
It's acid, but it's not taking the damage yet.
That'll be an embarrassing 7 damage.
Yeah, really helps.
I rolled a 1.
Cool. Was that with
Do you
sneak attack?
get sneak attack?
Yeah, I rolled 1 on the 8.
Ooh. Yeah, fair. Cool. Yeah, like again, you sort of dart in and sort of like, ha! It's like a quite an Errol Flynn kind of charismatic stop thrust through the. Miz, you see the blade exit through the like side of the neck and come out like to your side. You're just dodging to the side. Lily.
Do I see the same level of metallic under the skin
On
the one that just got stabbed?
that was on Will.
That was on Will.
Oh,
That was Will's
That was
robot
the
body.
creature attacking Will, and Will
Yeah.
was the...
It just didn't
Oh.
penetrate through the subdermal plating.
Right.
Yeah. Your skin is really just for aesthetic purposes at this point.
Right.
I know.
Which may be the best sentence I'll say today, but let's find out.
Well, Will certainly hopes it's not.
Okay, so...
Maybe one day he'll get to go back to normal again.
So, this one is gone, this one hasn't gone, this one hasn't gone.
Right, all 3 of them have gone.
No.
They've all had a turn.
But we're on the second round, so this one hasn't had its second to go. Whereas this one's had its second to
Yes,
yeah,
that's
only the one
correct.
next to one was active. this
Yeah, that's correct.
No, because I had to roll for acid damage for.
Yeah, but that was in the previous round.
Because it still had a turn in the previous round. Because it
Right.
the
yes,
ones.
because I'm near the bottom, but not at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think Lily just goes...
Indiana's
This
just
way.
sorted.
Yeah, ducking through, and you sort of like one of them tries like a lazy swipe. You bat at the side with the shield, and you position yourself.
Yep, and she
Unity.
pulls the other hand out, which turns black, and she's going to cast Inflict Wounds.
Nice. Roll your attack roll.
Oh, that's a natural one.
Advantage though.
Oh, yeah.
Flanking.
Yeah.
Sure. 16 to hit then.
16 is a hit. Yeah.
8. 10. 18 damage.
18. That is on the one that Will has stabbed.
Yep.
Necrotic damage.
Yep.
Does that matter?
Let me find out. No. 18 damage. That one, yeah, for sure. You basically grip it like... Can I borrow your mic? You grip it like by the back of the head and just rot it through. Not like an unhealthy, not a diseased rot. This is a... You're decomposing and you don't get a say in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you, even though you didn't cast Toll the Dead, you hear that phantom, like, high noon church bell of things being put to right and to rest where they belong. For sure. Will.
Very well. Let's get it there.
Yeah, cool.
On my way over, I'll hex it.
Cool. Go for it.
Can't do the Hexblade's curse because I've used that once already.
Yeah, you see the reticule over each of these. This one now has like the crosshairs filled in on the red reticule over this one. Yeah, go for it.
Damn it!
was
Natural
that?
19.
Oh, yeah. And that would have
gotten
been
me
a crit. With...
And that would have gotten me one of my goals.
Yes. Yeah. Fuck. Sorry.
But it's not a crit. It's just a regular hit.
Alas. Yeah. Roll damage. So this is the one that took the 3 acid damage. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's taking a lot of damage because I just rolled max on that dice, and I now need to do the hex damage. Okay, so that is 4 necrotic and 12 slashing.
So for a total of 16.
16.
Nice. Yeah, you sort of twirl the sword cane like not even dexterously, like balletically, like a dancer. And again, as you slash it through, the nanites bleed into the wound and start to eat away at the sides of opening the wound up. It's not quite down, but it's looking extremely hurt. Ghouls 1 and 2 are dead. Miz, it is your turn.
Okay. So yeah, reach to my cloak pocket, pull out the pistol.
Yep.
Once again, it draws shards from the earth, and it will fire. Is there a penalty at firing at melee range?
You'll be rolling at disadvantage, yeah.
Well, that's what I can do, because otherwise I try to punch it, and that's
Yeah.
not really my specialty. It's 15, and that is a 16, so
Nice.
that's a dirty 20.
Yeah, you just press the gun up against the thing's head and fire, yeah.
Matrix
Absolutely.
style, dodge this.
But
That's 8, so that is 11 points of damage.
this one, yeah.
Yeah.
11.
Yep.
Ooh. You blast the side of this man's head off. Not face, head. The ghoul looks at you with brain matter just falling out, with one eye still filled with malice, and just... it is not dead, but it's so very close. Well, it is dead. It's not yet re-dead. It's still
It's
under.
not yet defeated.
There you go. It is...
That thing's turn?
It's... yeah. I think it's the one next to you guys.
No, it would be this one because it's not had an acid roll yet.
You are correct.
And that is 4. That's 2 4s, so 8 points of acid damage.
Taking its health 7 points over. This thing, it looks at you and stares as the acid just, where it hit it like in the chest, the shoulder melts away and the head just falls to the side and the brain falls out.
I'll give it a little wave.
And it just lies there bubbling.
We stand a teenage sociopath. Fantastic. It is then the last remaining one, I believe, the one next to... do you like highs or lows?
I like highs.
That's 6 points of acid damage.
Oh yeah, fuck it. Yeah, so this one like rounds on you and turns and sort of like it's really trying to get an attack up, and then it sort of slumps forward and you see its whole back has just been melting through from like spine inwards and slumps to the ground and is defeated. Everything returns to quiet.
Oh, well, as a war, going to go lie down.
Everyone alright?
Have a wank, have a biscuit.
Maybe not.
Oh, fucking love Joe Cat. Anyway, yeah, so you can see these 4 men in various states of, like, the 2 that got acid sprayed are that's kind of pooling around them and they're getting a bit caustic. The one that was inflict wounds, yeah, again, the back of the head is gone, and for the one that got guided bod, the whole of the head is gone, but those bodies are mostly intact. How did the one that you that first attacked you die?
I guiding bolted it.
That's when you guiding bolted. So yeah, you can see this headless corpse in front of you is that was the one that your card responded to. What would you like to do?
Can I get a clarification on the branding? Because I previously thought they were branded by the Firebirds. Are they Firebirds that have...
These are Firebirds who have had anti-Firebird messages carved into their flesh.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should bury them.
Apologies for the confusion.
We should bury them or burn them. It's no good to leave them like this. They just end up coming back. and no one deserves this kind of treatment.
How did they get here?
That is a concern and a worry, so we should find out. Search the bodies.
Yeah.
Why did they reanimate?
Can you roll religion?
Lily already know this.
You'd know this for sure as a class feature, essentially.
So that's 19 plus whatever my religion, which I think
pretty
is
good.
pretty high. 4, so
I
23.
think I remember you explaining
Yeah.
this.
So
Lily goes, because they've been in a state of torture and on death and been left up here without proper burial rites and...
in places where there is a lot of magical energy, like Volan is soaked in it for various reasons. If bodies are left in a state of disgrace, essentially, or are very literally, desecration has a function, as does consecration. You know, you could make a place safe against undead by consecrating it. That's why churches are where people, you know, flee if there are zombies around. Desecration also is a tangible thing in Volan and Tilan in general, and this is the effect of it.
Okay.
So find out anything you can from the bodies,
Yeah.
and then we bury or burn them.
I'll definitely focus on.
Roll me investigate, please.
Could I also roll investigate to
Of-
rifle the pockets?
Of course, yeah.
Figure things out.
21.
Like
21.
wear gloves if you're going to do the bubbling piles.
Cock.
Just for
think-
reals.
I think Lily is
Natural
getting
20
up higher.
for a total of 23.
Oh, okay. Roll me 2d10.
Can I check our mounts to ensure that no one has tampered or added anything?
Yeah,
to
absolutely. Yeah. Investigate. I think investigate. Yeah.
So 4 and a 5.
You find 9 gold pieces. It looks that's probably like the pay for these people. That like part of it's already spent, but you know, for whatever caravan job they were doing. I'll go to you first with the. Was it 20?
21.
21. You find ID essentially. This James. The guy's name was Jeremiah Mason, and you know that name. You've never collected a debt from this man, but he owes the Harland Rowell Union Bank a pretty sum of money, or at least he did. With a
I'm
21.
going to hand out 2 gold to everyone.
Nice.
They're not going to use it, so we might as well share the wealth, as it were.
Think. Help me set the fire up.
Of course.
You also
Trouble lift.
the 21. I think you also find an unsent letter. You're a man who likes to rifle through personal correspondence. You find a letter addressed to this guy's family in Elysium, which is the Firebirds' corporate city. It lies on the south coast. It is quite deep into Coyotl territory, but they don't tend to... They are not as openly at conflict with the Coyotl as the rest of the humans are. They have basically made their nice, safe, walled-in city, and they kind of stay there, except for the lower-ranking ones you get sent out for various things. They are the East India Company in the Weird West, essentially. They have fingers in every imaginable corporate and mercantile pie in the continent. You are aware from your profession that the wording of the contracts is that this debt is not dischargeable on death, it will be inherited. Whether you are able to enforce that is a different thing. In the Manse district of Harlan, where everyone's super rich, you'd have not a hope in hell, because the guards would throw you out. In the poor houses of Harlan, oh yeah, you can stroll in, put a sword up someone's throat and do whatever the fuck you like, and no one's going to stop you. Elysium is a different beast entirely. It is corporately owned. You need permission to enter the city. And could I get you to roll history or arcana? There'll be slightly different results.
That's a 12, and let's say it's history.
12. You know that Elysium is guarded by some kind of magical creatures. They are sort of they're weird constructs, maybe artifice attack or something. You're not precisely sure. You've heard the word myrmidon thrown around. But in terms of is up to you. I mean, you could certainly cause a lot of worry just by sending a letter, if that is what you are aiming to get out of this. I mean, yeah.
But would you say they're equivalent to Harlan in the sense that someone would even want to take out business with my organisation?
I mean, this guy has. You don't know why.
But would that be an outlier?
Elysium is an outlier for sure. I mean, it's probably because this guy is on the road a lot, or was in life, traveling around. The average office worker clerk in Elysium who never leaves their desk chair and gets fragrant fruit juices and fresh bread brought in. They're not taking out loans with you. But a guy who is a glorified caravan guard. With a sense of superiority and a grudge in axe to grind, then that's the thing. But his wife is in Miriam and apparently lives in Elysium. Cool.
What was his name? Sorry,
Jeremiah Mason. You rolled a
12.
A 12 to investigate
The
mounts.
Our mounts.
They are. You saw them on the way in, or if you guys saw them on the way in, they were spooked as hell. Probably due to the presence of undead. They are instantly calmer now that there's not that ghoulish hissing coming from... Because it's an unnatural sound, and it's the sound of a predator as well. Those ghouls were interested in ripping the life force out of anything they could find, and that included, if they had managed to break free early enough, probably your mounts if you'd left them long enough. So they are still wary and spooked, but they don't appear to be actively trying to break their bindings anymore. In terms of interference with the mounts of the cart, you can't see anything. It looks pristine and untouched.
Interesting.
Can I get a survival check from you as well, please?
You absolutely can. That is a 7. So that's going to be 11 total.
You sort of looking around. You can't see anyone watching. You can't see anyone. This doesn't feel like a trap. It feels like,
their business was with the tree.
Their business was with whoever put these people here. Didn't particularly give a fuck about you. If they wanted to mess up your car or burn your car or slaughter animals, they would have. They had the opportunity. They had the power to do so and didn't care to for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, we didn't have anything obviously firebirdy there, so
reasonable.
they're probably fine with it. I imagine.
Yeah. Anyone else want to know anything? You're building a pyre?
Building a pyre.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm helping and I'm not being super efficient about it.
One thing to note is these are mercy trees. They're made of essentially fossilized coral.
That won't burn.
Then there's nothing to burn here. So you'd be looking for oil or maybe scrub and brush. There's nothing to make a great pyre, essentially, unless you have flasks of oil and torches that you could. But even then, that's going to be a bodge job.
Could bury them. Yeah. But burying might be easier. I just don't burying somebody in the desert is really hard.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The best thing you can do is find a bunch of rocks and pile them on top. Really.
That does tend to be how burials go around here. Yeah.
So I think that's
cool. So you spend a little bit of time building up these cairns around these fallen men.
In Critical Role Season 2, Caduceus had a spell that allowed him to basically decompose. Yes.
It was a cantrip. Yeah.
Might that be something that Lily would have?
If you choose to invest a cantrip in that, you're very welcome to. It depends what your thoughts on it is, Brad.
So there's a cantrip that exists which allows you to create graves, kind of. It's a 5-foot cube.
Mold Earth.
Yeah. It's
we love Mold Earth.
That's a grave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a viable intimidation tactic is what it is.
Yeah.
Especially hole kicking, hole.
Especially if, as a feature of it, the earth that moves goes up into an oblong.
Cool.
I think in this case that she would just make the cairns for this thing.
Are you doing those on the desert floor or on this little outcropping of rock that's up here?
Desert floor would be better.
The outcropping of in the mercy trees where they died. close
Could you
by.
roll me insight, please?
Sure.
Actually, I tell you what, insight or survival, your choice.
Well, 8 for insight.
There's something about the sentence you just said that doesn't sit right to you, but you can't put your finger on it.
This area might be desecrated. This is thought that just occurred to me. So maybe over on the desert floor might be better. Just
That
because
and
it would move away from
the mercy trees themselves offer shelter and shade to animals. So
somebody might dig it up or something like that.
well,
They might also foul the earth.
yeah, I don't know enough about zombies, but things will come here, and if they then pollute the earth, you then spoil a shade oasis effectively.
So she will.
Yeah, and also, someone camps here out under the shade. Who wants to sit on a grave for an hour?
Yeah, she'll move them out to the deeper parts of the desert.
Cool. As you're dragging them down the... what's your passive investigation?
My passive investigation is 11.
Cool.
And passive insight is 16. But
Okay, I'll take that into consideration. Lily is strong. You are, I think, the strongest one here by quite a way. Is that right?
there's a 12 strength.
12 say? Oh,
Not
Will
over
might.
13
Will's got
strength.
13. But yeah, so you guys are kind
Although
of...
he doesn't know it.
I feel like you guys are kind of like the big heavyweights of the group, ironically enough.
Weird.
But, a 12 and 13 is not, like, super strong.
Yeah.
You're having to grab them under the arms and drag them.
Yeah.
I always imagine we're doing it in pairs.
Yeah. As you're walking them down, you see you're leaving like little furrows with where their like feet are dragging, and then like, Will picks up the feet and you start carrying down. There's other furrows in the path leading down here.
So then, with that, Lily starts looking around for other cairns or other graves, because as a cleric of death, she'd know what they look like, even hidden.
You don't think anyone else is buried here?
Ooh, are these other furrows, are they relatively fresh?
Yeah.
So,
Extremely.
They were dragged up.
So we can
Dragged
potentially
up.
find
They were
where they
dragged
were
up.
killed.
Augustine, it occurs to you where Lily was talking about, bury them where they died. They didn't die here. They were brought here and displayed. You can see, if you look a little bit further down,
That?
you can see a trail of spots of blood leading off into the desert.
Does it go far?
Lead off and then stop as if they'd gotten onto some mounts and then...
That's a brilliant question. You can see. Are you going to follow these blood spots? It's not a hard trail to
I
follow.
will follow them, but then if I get to turn around and like, oh, hang on a minute, I've wandered dangerously far away from
You
the
walk
group.
for maybe sort of 3 or 4 minutes,
Okay.
and find nothing. Do you want to press on further than that?
The blood trail just keeps on going. When you say you find nothing, I don't know, just keep following and
The trail is still leading way off ahead of you after 3 or 4 minutes. But it's your choice whether you want to move off further than that. Like 3 or 4 minutes walk is, a minute's run,
Yeah.
and that's combat time. As you're like, not to sort of metagame, but you're aware that if you walk off more than a minute as run away, you're on your own if something happens. So.
And this is like the furrows as well, or is it just the blood splatters?
It looks like just the blood splatters, actually.
Okay, so they've been picked up in a way that is. Okay.
Can I see anything? Because presumably this is like a tool point, and then the desert stretches out around us. Can I see anything?
Perception with advantage, please, as you're going from the vantage point. Advantage. That's where that word comes from. Point of inspiration to me. No! Don't worry, I'll only use it for nice things, I promise.
That is 18.
18.
Total.
You can see there is another similar outcropping of rock a little way off. It's not quite as tall, and it provides shade, but there's no mercy trees there. It's maybe 15 minutes walk away.
5-0.
15.
Oh,
1-5.
Okay.
While you deliberate, I'm just going to go grab another drink. Ink.
Have any of you followed me?
Like Lily's bringing
If I
bodies down. If you like start walking off, she'll probably spot because she's got high passive perception. She'll like, okay.
But it's like, is Lily's priority, because you were dragging a corpse down while you're doing it, is your priority
Yeah.
like, I'm going to sort this corpse out first?
Yes, that's
So I turn around and you're still kind of...
yeah, dealing with that, bringing the next corpse down, probably on the third one. Like,
Why are they so heavy?
Given that I'm so far away and kind of waiting for them to...
Sure.
Can I check the business card visually now?
Corporal Jeremiah Mason.
once Lily's got all the bodies down.
Actually, that writing is fading actively.
Mm-hmm.
As you're...
Yeah. I guess similar to how if I hand it to someone, they read it. Like as soon as I start to read it, it starts to...
Yeah, kind of. It's imparted the information it wants to impart,
Yeah.
Not to imply sentience.
Yeah.
For the benefit of the tape, I just raised my eyebrows suggestively. And not in a fun way.
One of the questions I was going to ask you about.
Yeah.
Is it two-way?
No.
Okay.
No. That is information dissemination. It doesn't go...
Yeah.
Yeah, this way is a this way is a way for me to drop like story
Yeah.
notes. The other way is a free sending.
Free sending to a business address.
It's a great joke. Put it with version. I really like that.
What have I missed? Apart from Joe's inevitable demise.
Oh, lungs. It's kind of hard to explain. It was just quite funny.
Donut hurt yourself.
Hey.
There's one left. Anyone after this last donut?
Cool beans.
I empathise very much with Brennan's snack rant.
Oh, the God.
The answer to your question is almonds.
So roughly the shady outcropping, is that in the same direction?
The trail leads off sort of this way, and it is over in the distance that way.
Okay.
This hill is, 60 feet high. That one is maybe only 20.
Ooh, A Hill to Die On. Episode title.
Have we already had that one? That was the Harriman fight one. Yeah.
I'm not sure we want to go. They've left us alone. Should we leave them alone?
No.
No.
It's entirely up to you.
Really. You don't leave corpses out like this.
No, not the corpses, the people who did this.
I know, really. At the very least, I'm going to give him a stern talking.
You're going the right way for a smack bottom. With a mace.
First, I need to bury these people.
You pile up your these fist-sized rocks over enough of the bodies. I mean, it's you're basically carrying two halves of the guys who got hit with the acid splash because it's really sort of seeped in. But
for future reference, can you not round them in half? It makes it really difficult.
Sorry.
or perhaps put them inside someone like a large polythene drum before you melt them. I do beg your pardon for my terrible lungs. What would you like to do? Anyone? So you've finished making up this cairn. You're investigating. You're sort of looking over it.
Follow the tracks, turned round. So I guess I'll shout. Are we going to follow these?
Once I'm done doing this prayer, yes. Okay.
It takes you, for the sake of narrative convenience, 20 minutes to build a cairn, not 7 or 8 hours, which it probably would in real life. So, You a few minutes pass and
A lot of special techniques that death clerks have
oh
developed
yeah.
over the years.
Can I maintain just a vigilant watch to ensure no one's then going to
Perception.
ambush us?
I do want to use Eyes of the Grave as well, because we don't just stand here.
You see the fading of the energy around the ghoul corpses, but other than that, there's nothing.
I'm
That'll
just
be,
going to sit there going,
that is a 12 in total.
You can see a dust cloud to the north of you, way off to the north. It's not the same direction that the blood splatters have come from, but like way off. There's like but that's not that unusual in the desert. You know, there's a group of people or something moving out there, but it's 20, 30 miles away, just on the very edge of your perception.
Presumably too far away to tell if it's getting closer. Or...
Yeah, you can't even really tell direction.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So you finish burying the men in the desert. None of them appear to have been like armed. They don't have any equipment on them. Like the two gold you found were basically just like in a loose in a pocket, not even in a coin pouch.
you said 9.
So the 2d10.
Oh, the 2 sets of gold.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, thank you. So you're going to follow now the...
Can we take the mounts with us?
Yeah, certainly if you want to.
Question first. How long is left on the charging of the batteries?
I'd say you probably got maybe 3 hours.
And is that just this battery or is that for the final battery?
That's the final battery.
3
The
hours
final
for
crystal.
Okay. And we locked it after
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
with a
you
passcode.
did. I believe it was Augustine should stop talking more. Yeah. Cool. You follow these. It's not difficult. You can see that the just drips of blood. They're getting actually more intense as you get closer to this outcropping. As you get up among this outcropping, there are several things that sort of hit you. You can see bedrolls and a stoked out campfire, and pools of blood.
Would you say there's 4 bedrolls?
There are, in fact. There's also like a cart. One of the wheels is fully broken, as if something has hit it at very great force. And yeah, roll me investigate. If you have any particular questions about anything that is here, you may not have to roll investigate, but roll investigate to get a general sense.
Lillian is looking for other tracks of the people or anything of this. And was this wagon dragged here, or was it was here and it got hit by something?
Okay.
My question, just to add that, because it's kind of related to the car, is: does it look like an animal would be pulling this cart? And if so, is the animal here?
Okay. You can see tracks from a couple of animals. The first thing you can see a track of is a horse. That looks like it was travelling away, going towards the mercy trees. It looks like the bodies may have been tied onto the back of the horse, taken over there, then taken off and dragged up the slope manually.
Just to clarify, an actual horse?
An actual horse.
Okay.
An ant, there are tracks of. It looks like the bindings have been slashed away from the cart, the reins, and the ant has been spooked and sent off.
Yeah.
Not Kevin.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was one of the bodies missing a leg.
And no, actually, they all had the little leggies intact.
That is a very well-armed postal service.
What were the investigate checks?
23.
23, nice.
8.
8. 6.
Where's my escape? 9.
You look at it and you sort of, your eyes sort of glaze over and do that kind of cop show thing where, you know, you see the little, like you see all the overlay in your head as you go full like spatial awareness superpower.
I'm imagining it's like Sherlock, where it's like highlighted and it's written down, but it's now all in crayon.
Aesthetics! Fuck yes. You go over to the wagon, and you look at the top rim of the wagon wheel, and you look at it, and you get out some little like forceps, and there is a piece of like flesh and hair and blood. It looks like what hit the wagon was a person who cracked their head, killing them. Probably one of the 4 people. It looks like they were thrown bodily. There's no like drag marks leading up to it. They landed on like coming in on a parabolic arc.
That is one. That's a.
It's a
Hell of a
meaty,
force.
yeah, yeah,
So something very strong did that.
yeah. Although it is someone landing with their full weight on something only about that, so it's you know, yeah. What else?
Do the bedrolls themselves? 'Cause you said there were pools of blood around them.
Yeah.
Are there also stab marks? So where some of them stabbed in their sleep.
A great question on that investigate as well. Yeah, and honestly, thinking back to the bodies you saw, despite the barbaric nature of what was done to them post-mortem, the slashing and disemboweling, these people were killed almost instantly. Everything, all the performative elements of it, all of the shock value was for the people who came after. In terms of these 4 people's deaths, again, 23 is a great investigation role. You think what happened was there was one person on watch, someone snuck up on him, picked him up, threw him. The other 3 were stabbed through. You can see actually holes in the bedrolls where a blade was pushed through them while they were asleep. By the way, nothing remains here that is portably wealthy. Portably, that doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean? Like, weapons are gone. They didn't have any weapons on them, but there are none here. There is a barrel of water, which is untouched, which is valuable in and of itself, but is not portable unless you have a cart to carry it on. You guys do, but and these guys did, but whoever did this was riding. It looks like 1 horse. So, yeah,
one person.
So one person did this.
one person did this.
Ooh.
And is
Ooh, okay.
anti-Firebird rhetoric common?
They have some extremely dubious business practices, put it that way. People don't have a good opinion of them, except people in Elysium who only have a slightly culty good opinion of
They
them.
have a corporate mandated good opinion of them.
Oh yeah, like Disney style, yeah.
Because were the corpses at Fort Morgan also similarly branded?
Yeah.
So this is a common practice? Or
Not that you've seen before.
So these are like the first 2 instances we ever heard of this thing happening.
Roll me a difficult history check.
That's 5.
Anyone can do that if they
You're
particularly
not
wish
getting
to.
on that. 15.
No.
Yeah. You guys haven't heard of this, but Volan is a big fucking place.
Would I know to smell for sulfur?
How do you mean?
So, Ryan
Yeah.
is aware of a particular subclass that he gave us the option to
Yeah.
that has I would assume, a sulphurous scent to some of the abilities.
I don't think you would know to do so.
Okay.
However, you would still have the sensory information if it was available, and no, there is nothing of that ilk here.
Nothing that would indicate whatever. Okay, cool.
So this.
I cannot speak to whether there was a sheriff present here, but if there were a sheriff present here, they would not have been ghastly. At least not in that specific way.
Not that I would know.
Yeah.
So this person rode in on a horse, killed all 4 of these, and decided to string them up over in the mercy trees. One person did this.
Yeah. One last question for now. I'm sure there'll be more in the future. So they were presumably protecting this cart.
Or transferring whatever was on it.
Yeah. So the water still remains.
Yeah.
But presumably the cart looked like it could hold more than just water.
For real, yeah.
Is there a shipping manifest to find?
Oh, that's such a great question, and I really wish I could answer yes, but no, there isn't. Actually, tell you what, it's notable that there isn't one. You would expect there to be one. So whoever took whatever was in the cart also took the paperwork.
Is there any sign of like a person kind of being transported on a cart like a prisoner?
No. This is like if you there are like scratches where there would have been like a chest or a box or something on there, but it like it's not like there were scratches from it being removed. That's what is meant to be carried on this on this cart, and it was for many journeys. It just happened in this one that they got ambushed.
The horse tracks that lead away. Does that also look like it is pulling a cart?
No.
So
There are only very occasional hoof prints where there's a bit more sand and it's protected from the wind. You can't, but there's no like wagon tracks which are more obvious.
So they were presumably transporting a chest of some description. Something very strong came along and has taken the chest without any other transportation means other than the horse, which in itself is a sign of wealth, but the chest would be bulky. They've had to use a cart to carry it, and yet they have managed to abscond with it without.
Does it look like a regular-sized horse?
Okay, so on the scale from Shetland pony to like Destria Clydesdale, it's the top end of the.
But it
it's a
doesn't look like
big
some-
fucking horse.
It doesn't look like something big enough to have also sides for arms, kind of thing.
No. I know to what you are referring, but no.
I have elected not to share its name with the group at this point.
Wise. Do not mention the Night York. Guys, I gotta be clear about this. You gotta cool it with them.
I'm also referring by which I mean I'm referring to the name that I gave it.
Yeah.
Which to me is its real name.
That's previous campaign bollocks. If anyone's curious. This is like a 22-hand horse. If you've ever looked after horses, which is fucking big. It would be capable of carrying something which a pony or an ant, which are like ponies and ants are kind of the equivalent kind of size, and then like the beetles are more like oxen, which are like capable of carrying a lot more weight. This would be stronger than your beetle, so it probably could if it was carrying just a person and that it would be capable of carrying a heavy chest, but you're not sure what was in the chest. If it was laden with gold, that's a different thing to it being carrying like one tiny fragile artifact.
It's the thing that most interests me is presumably the physical size of the chest. That you've had to put it on a wagon.
Roll me another investigate, I would say.
That is not as good. That is a 11.
You can kind of work out the size of the chest, and it's probably only about this big.
Oh, okay.
It looks like, like you're not certain, but like as far as you can extrapolate, like probably the thing on the cart was more important than the people who could be riding in it. So
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's not like a difficult check to
You figured
to
out how
figure
big the horse is, you figured out how far the person got thrown, you can figure out how big the person who did the throwing is. And that should give you a good idea of what.
If you want to try and do that maths on the fly, that's a raw int.
Hells, yes, I do.
With a stick in the sand.
Oh no, that's a 3 plus whatever my int is. But
7,
that's-
yeah.
The sand blows away for your
Yeah.
math calculation.
So what I say is, you could come back and do that maths later, but you need to sit down with a cup of like tea and like paper and a pen and do it, not just scratch it in the sand that is rapidly blowing away.
Yeah, this is why I use crayon. This sounds way too unreliable.
So this was
Ryan is looking at me like he has an idea.
this was
I was
done
going to ask
last.
the boys to do it.
This was done last night.
It looks like it, yeah.
How long ago was last night?
You're about 9 o'clock in the morning right now.
So it's barely recently, in reality.
Yeah. I mean, you locked up those doors like midday yesterday.
Yeah.
So it could be anything in the last 22 hours.
But they were sleeping.
They were.
Which is
But people don't always sleep at night here.
It's true in the desert.
Sometimes they- yeah. If you want to make a medicine check to try and like
How long?
liver temperature kind of pathologist,
Sure.
time of death kind of thing.
How? You said there was a small campfire.
Yeah.
How hot is it?
It's burned out, and the desert sun heats the sand around here anyway. I would say roll survival for that one.
16.
12. Oh, okay, 16.
16 and 16. Your best guess is like an 8-hour window between midnight last night and an hour ago. Actually, no, I'll say between like 10 last night and 6 this morning. So it was after. It would have been after dark last night.
Alright. Do we have a trail to follow if you want to follow this guy?
No.
Oh,
The wind has blown the hoofprints away, and there's no. Like, if it had been raining, you absolutely would, but it's dry as a bone out here.
How often does it rain?
Also,
How often does it rain? Not very often, but when it rains, it fucking rains.
Yeah,
also, I'm not sure we want to follow whatever this is. It's incredibly powerful.
it ambushed 4 people. That's all it did.
Survival?
Is it ambush predator?
Not just an ambush predator, it's incredibly strong. Look, it's destroyed the wheel cart with somebody's head.
Like, the full weight of the body was what
Yeah.
hit in the air, but that's still inches of wood. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like,
not.
This is managed to
person wasn't
throw a
fucking about.
person.
The ant could do
Like-
that.
Say again?
The ant could do that, dearie. If it kicked it hard enough, a horse can do that. I'm not scared of horse.
Hey, it's good.
So I will look. I will look at the bloody bed rolls and at the smashed cart and go, a horse did this.
No, dearie. A horse could. Well, a horse could do this because
a sword.
a horse could have kicked a man that far. Is my point, dearie. It's not that big of a deal. You sneak up on somebody in the middle of the night.
I'll go on then.
16.
You can identify which one,
Mm-hmm.
but as I say, everything portable has been taken. This place has been almost like methodic. Like, you can see the like step by step, like grid search that's kind of gone on here. Someone has gone through this methodically and removed everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got no trail to follow, dearie. So.
Are
can't
we
do
sure that this is about them being firebirds? Or is the desecration and the graffiti, for want of a better word, is just done to cover the crime of the theft?
No one's that reckless. Because I want to.
I'm just not saying anything. on here.
Is the thought of don't leave bodies around widely known?
Okay.
That's like
Here is what I will say to this.
Yeah.
This is combined with your passive insight and your class levels.
Yeah.
The sentence I will give you is this. Purposefully causing this kind of desecration sends a very particular message.
Mm.
And it is that there was intent behind it.
Yeah.
Whoever did this wanted people to know, wanted it to be a message to someone. Presumably to people who would think about working for the Firebird Company.
If it was just to hide the fact that they'd stolen something, deity, they'd have burned all this to the ground, made sure there was no evidence of all of this stuff. But now we know the fact that they took the time to desecrate the bodies. This is somebody who hates the Firebrands for whatever reason. But
This is not the first time they've done it either.
No, dear. The hanging men when we came into the other town.
You ever hear the story of Stan Cree?
Is that there's a legend in Voland that is totally not ripped off from a song I like about someone who shot someone in a duel, didn't bury the body, and then the guy turns up the next day asking for a rematch. If you just want to murder someone, you burn the bodies. For exactly this reason.
They might come back to you. This person is trying to make sure that no one works for them.
Shaman, steal his drink, This is what they are before.
I'm going to post that song in the chat. It's great.
The holes in the bedroll was presumably there's holes in 3 out of 4 of them.
Yeah, that's correct.
Because you wouldn't, like, unless you're a princess, presumably you're not on guard duty while also wrapped up in your bedroll. That's not does it look like the impact marks are in pretty much the same space? So as in all 3 were still asleep or at least lying down?
Yeah.
Like, whatever did this did it very, very quickly.
You also, like, whoever, this is how you'd kill someone. If you had you think this is inside your own head. If you had full reign and you were stealthing through a camp and you wanted to kill 3 people without them waking up, what you would do is sneak up, stab one through the heart as fast as you could, wait, walk a couple of steps, make sure none of the guns work, stab another one, and repeat. Like, there's no way to see that sneak attack damage has been dealt, but and not saying mechanically it has been, but that's the vibe you're getting. Yeah.
And this is also auto crits
For real.
because they're asleep.
That's what it is. Yeah, absolutely. It's someone who's been gaming the auto crits
And they could have also taken 10 on the attack because
and a
they were
stealth
asleep.
roll.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything here for us anyways.
No.
I don't think there's much else for us to do. We've buried the bodies. We need to charge that crystal and head back and keep an eye out for whoever this thing is.
I will also say that Fort Morgan are expecting you back in 2 and a quarter days' time, and it's about a 2-day journey.
Was I asked about bedroll?
Yeah.
I just general was the person I asked about a bedroll kill or a thrown body kill?
Thrown body kill.
Oh.
Yeah. That is the only clean one.
I would like to know what kind of weapon killed them, like longsword type thing.
You would say roll me medicine, please.
Medicine.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, that'll do. I would say something that can deal piercing damage. It was a stab through.
And a long one? Like, would it have...
The blade would be longer than this, otherwise you can't tell. Like, it has caused a small indentation, like a cut in the bedroll underneath, and it has passed through the width of a person. Other than that, you're not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was asking, looking at, is it pierced through both sides?
Yeah, it has, yeah. I would say it's gone through...
If I look at the ground, is it pierced into the ground at all?
It's probably gone into the bedroll, but not into the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. So you say it will be like a dirk length dagger or longer. But, yeah.
And in terms of width and things, I can't figure out.
It's a thin blade.
A thin blade, okay.
But that could be a dagger, that could be a short sword, that could be a rapier. They would have the same profile going through, yeah. Sweet.
Let's
Okay.
return.
Yeah.
You head back over, you walk through the desert with the desert wind, and you arrive back at the door of subsite 334. They ask for the verbal password.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Augustine needs to stop talking more. I believe that was the password.
Yeah.
Augustine needs to stop talking more.
Access granted. And then
And then I'll use on off to change get the lights on, and also then to undo the password lock.
yeah, cool. Yeah, you can head down into the base camp.
Right, 2 hours of questions. Huh?
Does anyone have any more?
Do you want to?
I'll take a short rest.
Yes.
Yeah, you can. Firstly, short rest, absolutely fine. It's been too recent since your last long rest to get a long rest in, but you can absolutely take a short rest. Yeah.
It's fine. Back to full spell slots again.
I think you lost like 6 HP.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Ghouls
I
are
can
an interesting one because they're really swingy. Because if one paralyzes you and then gets another attack, that's an auto crit. And So I thought 4 was fair because they only had to make a DC 12 athletics check to get out, and I think 2 of them managed to. So yeah, I didn't want to do more and just murder all of you instantly.
Yeah, it's cool. Poor show for session 3.
I was holding Turn Undead in the pocket. Just in case
Yeah,
it was real bad.
I wondered, yeah.
Did we want to retcon the question about the parasitic divine?
I had a
or are we
thought.
going to ask
Yeah.
it?
I had a thought on this. As we come in, it maybe says over the PA, like, apologies for incorrect statement earlier, correcting with new information, and spits out.
Auxiliary scan complete. And then, it spits out the user. I don't know what user EV tag does this morning.
0.
Have you cast a spell since the reset?
Maybe light.
Yeah.
You were the first one that cast a spell last session.
Oh yeah, so 0.
Yeah.
But the reset happens when the user.
The reset
gets
happened at
hit, right?
midnight, is the thing.
Okay.
But I think Lily was the first one to cast a spell.
In the
Okay.
new reset.
Yeah, in that case, well, assuming we go with that, is that, it will inform you, user 00, that a parasitic divine energy form has been detected.
Does that say that out loud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean, parasite?
It basically brings up like a light hologram of you, and then like 2 comes apart, and you can see the outline of your body, and then like the energy flows through your body, like where magic flows through a body, and you kind of understand that, like you've seen that kind of thing, and like intertwined all along those pathways is little spirals of light, basically.
Just looking at it like, what the hell that means?
Fair. Yeah.
Something you want to tell us?
No, not really, dearie. I don't know what that means. It's what? I've got little light swirlies in me.
Hardly the worst thing you be told's inside you.
22 insight.
Lily is definitely not saying something.
Will is just there, just nodding along, it's like in
It's like, you know what? I fully fucking get it.
yeah, except a lot more horse.
But there is a sense that she doesn't understand. Like it's she's hiding something, but it's the concept of what the heck the thing is trying to tell her. It just doesn't kind of compute, and she's like, I don't understand. It's not right. I didn't know what to mean.
Looks like she's telling the truth about her thoughts and opinions on this particular thing.
Yeah.
Is the energy form dangerous?
All divine energy is dangerous.
That's a broad statement, dear.
To the mortal side.
Oh, fire is dangerous, you fucking daft thing.
No query.
Stupid voice.
Well, they're like...
Can the parasite be removed?
Can the parasite be removed without damage to the host?
I didn't say that.
Didn't do that. Huh?
Arcano-optical scanning technology is not sufficient at this location to determine whether removal of the parasite would be fatal to the host.
Do you have a voice inside your head too?
No, dearie, I do not have any voices inside my head. Is it my own?
Have there been other cases of parasitic invasion?
That's a great question.
That's directed at Grandian. Like,
No. What did it say? No recorded cases exist in my database.
What about any parasitic infernos?
No cases exist in my database.
I feel fine, dearie. I don't have no voices. I'm better off than he is. I've got all my limbs. For a start.
Clarification: you do not have all of your limbs.
More confusing. How many limbs How many limbs am I supposed to have, dear?
I think because I quite like that joke. It's not technically accurate, but I think it's going to be a mistranslation of the word limb and organ.
I I was expecting it to be like forearmed.
And it
Forewarned is forearmed.
It's like 60 Thor, the boar or something like stupid. You're like, that doesn't make any sense. She's broken. It thinks I should have
We've
more
already
names.
asked about location of medical facilities.
You have. So it said that the nearest possibility of medical assistance would be the refugee settlement of Noven.
Okay, which you've already,
The point is, I'm alive. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not like him. I have.
I don't know that.
I have control.
You're usually better at hiding it.
You can see, by the way, that the big metal plates visible under Will's skin are now closed over with skin.
See, I don't do that.
It's a fucking Wolverine.
I was going to say, unlike Wolverine, when I cast light, it comes out of my nipples.
That's very
Would
It don't. I
LEDs.
don't say that, and that doesn't happen.
would a divine parasitic invasion trigger or warrant an armed response?
Under current security threat level, there would be no response.
See,
So-
he
so-
doesn't hate me.
So on the plus side, it means you probably won't get shot entering another market.
I really appreciate that area. I really like it. That's nice. I don't get to worry about being shot randomly by strange ancient technologies.
Not by strange ancient technologies, no.
Yes.
I wouldn't go that far, and I do glance in.
That's a good point, Thierry. No, as far as I know, Thierry, I'm just like the rest.
It's
So ready.
8.
That was a very aggressive roll.
Yeet.
What was the number?
Non-nat 20.
No, not 20. Yeah, she's definitely leaving something out.
You get a message on your datapad. You don't have to share. You don't have to, this is a text message, a text-based message.
Is this from Leviathan?
Leviathan.
Oh no.
You don't know this.
Yeah, that's what I'm going, oh no.
Yeah.
Your AI's got a side thing on
got
the
a new
side. Do
My
I?
AI has a side piece now.
He's just moved on for a younger woman. Yeah, you get a text message through from Leviathan that says, what would it refer to you as? I'd say,
Oh, I did actually get Miz designated as friend, remember?
yeah.
So
but-
it might be designation Miz.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would probably, in that case, it's going to refer to you as Miz. And it's the message says, Miz, are you aware of these kinds of energy parasites? Where do they come from? Why do they happen?
I can tell he's like suspicious of me, correct? Like,
Well, Augustine.
yeah.
I mean, just look at him. I enjoy that this is two people with, I presume, better insight than deception staring at each other.
So I have better insight. I bet he has better deception.
Yeah, that's fair.
They are both the same.
My insight is +6. So I got
I have
20.
expertise in both, so.
Excellent.
My deception is +6.
I got
Nice.
25 on my insight though.
I'm suspicious of you.
Yeah,
Fair.
that's fair.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. Everyone's suspicious.
So
Nadie
she
conoce
just-
a nadie.
So she just goes, I know you're suspicious of me. How about this? I tell all my secrets, and you will tell me all of yours. You have a fair exchange at that point.
Audible laugh from all.
I guess
You don't have to answer that question from Leviathan now or at all. It's just that message has come
No,
through.
my response will be not yet, but I plan to find out.
Roll me Arcana.
Happy to tell you.
That is a
all
nat 20.
Fuck me. Okay. So
Well
you did basically an arcanobiology module. as part of your general. So when you were looking at like you mostly do like mechanical engineering and constructs, but you know there is a big branch of constructs like making like golems and even like flesh golems or plant golems and like much more organic based things. And one of your lecturers, like natural 20, fucking 24, 20...
26.
26, yeah, fuck me. One of your lecturers went off on a full tangent about this crackpot theory about how human DNA is adaptable to high levels of residual arcane energy. And basically was trying to prove that the massive increase in basically air genasi children in Antara was due to the presence of air elementals there, linking together the idea that if there is a large amount of elemental energy, there will be a large amount of elemental members of the children.
So...
And that little light bulb fires off in your head, and neuron fires off. Maybe if there's a large amount of divine energy, there's a large amount of divine-based children.
So that's not the way I thought it was going to go.
So
Text me.
So what was that?
Text me.
So another comparable comparison would be the absorption of radiation.
It's exactly that. Just types of radiation you don't have names for yet.
Yes. Okay. In that case, I would adjust my answer. I go. So I have theories, but more data is required.
Please keep me informed of your research, miss.
Of course, Leviathan.
Cool.
Is this the only form of divine energy that you can currently detect?
Scanning. Yes. What was the roll?
I can tell you.
Oh, please do. I'd be very excited to know. Cool.
What energy does this site use, if not divine energy? I'm happy if the answer is classified.
It's using the ley lines.
It would use, like, say, it would come up with like third geotectonic energy. So ley line energy, yeah, but it gives you the technical name for it.
Its name for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. I don't think I have any more questions at this immediate.
Yeah, that's much more raw magic. It's not even arcane or divine. It's raw magic that the space uses.
Send you the Discord of what I thought you were going to go with.
Neat. Filing that one away.
Stop giving him ideas.
I'll share my secret theory if you share yours. About one secret for one secret, how's that?
Oh, Joe, that idea that I sent you was also my working theory for what happened with the pine box.
Neat. Okay, that's a very cool idea, and I can neither confirm nor deny.
It's all about self-actualization, you know.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that I am someone smart and clever enough and come up with cool ideas enough to come up with that, but I'm also saying I'm not that person. So.
One secret for one secret? How about who you really work for? And I'll tell you everything about whatever this is, which I think it probably is. I'm a smart cookie.
Cool.
To be fair, I have already shared a big secret myself.
Augustine is standing there with the god of poker faces. Just that slight smirk and unreadable as granite on a paving slab.
Happy to tell you.
Oh, alright. You got injured, yes?
I did.
You did, yeah. Come here. Don't touch. I promise. And she holds out her hands, and where you were injured is probably like a cut or scratch.
It's like scratches across the shoulder.
Yeah. So she holds out her hands, and they begin to glow, but not the glow from cleric healing versus something else. And You deal 4. You for 6.
I imagine my detect magic goes off.
It does. It doesn't give you a school, it just gives you the fact of the injury. The site definitely detects it on that.
It gets a bit pissy.
It doesn't get pissy. Like, this thing doesn't have a security system. It has, like, an intelligence. So it's more like... You know, like last week when Miz activated the emergency override, and it was like the... It was a warning. It was like a warning system. It's more like that. Like, warning, energy levels increasing.
Doesn't set off any klaxons or anything like that.
No. You see this is not arcane or like cleric magic. Yeah, your wounds are knitting together, but they're not. Yeah, I got it.
Have you worked
yeah, you go to lay your hands up, and you do pass this magic in, and as you go, so you sort of pass the like draw the cloth aside to get it, and those wounds were inflicted maybe 2 hours ago. They look like they were inflicted 2 days ago.
You already did a quick heal, aren't you? Just sped up the process a bit, finished off the job. Do you understand now, dearie? Or do you need to
I'm
direct?
getting an inkling.
You're getting an inkling. So, who do you work for then, dear?
It's a pleasure to tell you
Right?
that I don't work for anyone. And I am insulted, madam, insulted that you would think otherwise, that a businessman such as myself could not pull him up by his own bootstraps.
I find that incredibly hard to believe, dear.
I thought you worked for the bank.
I work for the bank, but I own the bank. Everyone who works for the bank owns the bank. We are an equal partnership.
That is a business model that does exist, cooperatively owned financial enterprises. Yeah.
It's kind of
It's kind
wrong
of
inside.
Which bank?
I'll let you keep the from before. What was the insight?
18.
Yeah, he seems to be like what he said is true. He works for the bank, but he also owns a bank, so he technically doesn't work for anyone. Like he is an employee of the Harlan Drywall Union Bank, but as a stakeholder in the Harlan Drywall Union Bank, he works for himself.
Fine, dear. That's what you say.
It's not a secret. It is
Never said that.
how we work.
But you do have secrets, don't you, dearie? I mean, if you didn't,
I'd be insulted if you didn't.
I'd be surprised, dear.
You have secrets. You just traded one with me.
Yes, I did, dearie. I trust you'll keep that secret because a lot of people want to kill people like me, or to do other horrible things with them.
I won't let them hurt you, Granny.
Holds up gun.
I know, dearie. It's fine.
Is gun an acronym for something?
If I didn't
Gun. Oh no.
If I didn't trust you at least a little bit to protect me from those kinds of people, I wouldn't have told him.
Oh.
So, you own the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Are you here representing your bank's interest, or are you here for personal reasons?
This is Rich generally
Yeah.
thinking about that.
That's an interesting one. I'm going to wee while you think about it. I'm going to leave the room to do so.
Thank you for
And in
that.
fact, go to the bathroom.
Yes, thank you for that. Just, thank you everyone in general for using the proper facilities when you need to wee.
I think a little of both. I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive. I think what benefits the bank can also benefit me greatly.
I mean, if you own part of it, it does make sense.
Exactly.
That's very true. How much? Now, I don't know much about businesses and things, but how much of a share do you own in the bank? Are you a majority shareholder, or are you an equal shareholder with all other owners, or is it a case that somebody somewhere owns a bit more than everyone else?
We are 100% equal. And I can tell you we are exactly 1/25th owner of the bank.
That's very interesting.
I'm going to give you for free that information is very important.
So I see like a flash of like, should I give this away?
That and also, why would I have that information that quick? Like, why, I don't even need to work that number out. I already know that number.
Yeah, you know there's 25, there's 24 other people who also own. And it's really strange that you would know that because presumably it's possible for somebody else to come along and go, I want to be part of this bank, and then it becomes 26.
Absolutely not.
Oh, interesting.
I'm very excited to listen back to this when I listen back. What was the question being asked when I left? I forget.
Are you here representing
Personal,
the bank
private
or-
interest.
yes.
What was the consensus?
A little of both, and I don't think one can. It's not
Be
mutually
extricated
exclusive
from
of
the
the
other. Sure. About this time, you see the crystal begin to sort of the spinning of that like electron around the atom begins to slow as it has with both the others, and it looks like the crystal is charged up.
Okay.
Yep. As they're loading the crystals on, can I take a moment to collect any bits of martial tech that are not integral to the site that are just left scattered about?
So it looks like this was pretty clean.
I had a feeling that would be the case.
Yeah, like the Morganites did kind of, have been here for a couple of years. Like this is a regular haunt for them, like a couple of times a month. So, doesn't look like there's anything to be, anything. There's nothing here that isn't not just nailed down, but like plasma welded to the floor.
Cool. The chalk that they were using to write on the back of the tablet,
Yeah,
is that still there?
the chalk is. Yeah.
Can I snap that in half and take half of it with me and leave the other half there?
Yeah. Oh, there's multiple pieces of chalk.
Oh, in that case, I will take an
You can
entire
take a
bit
stick of
chalk.
chalk, yeah, for real. Yeah, no worries. Cool. I
Right.
think there's even I think chalk is something you can actually buy in the PHP, so you can find the gold. You can find the gold cost.
It's more the fact that it's come from this site, and I will use it to.
The chalk didn't come from this site. The chalk was probably brought here by the Morganites.
Yes.
The medical kit comes from this site.
That's true.
The healer's kit, yeah.
It's more about the collection of mementos.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you
I'm-
take a stick of chalk. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The souvenir, dearie.
So I can draw go faster stripes on Bard here, and then draw on the
little
dragon.
Not very mock. Don't yuck somebody else's yawn.
Wholesome grammar. Cool. You guys head out of the site. You walk back up the stairs, see that sort of opening to fresh air above you. Miz, unlike me, who has shit lungs, you breathe a little clearer when you. I started doing like a big acting breath in, and then my lungs stopped working, and it was bad. So I'm going to try that one again. You breathe a little clearer as you exit the site. It is 2 days hot, weary, dusty trail back to Fort Morgan.
Go hitting the old dusty trail.
As you go, could I get perceptions for everyone?
It's caught.
It's a natural 1.
17.
Unnatural 20.
20.
Unnatural 20 as well.
20. Yeah.
I'm going to grant them a 2.
Okay. You're driving the car, you're sort of focusing on what's ahead of you. You're sitting on the side. You can see that dust cloud you saw earlier. You guys get a better view of it. You can see it moving perpendicular to you. I'm going to move you back onto the Vernon map. Yeah, that's the one. That's the map that's served with pastries and yogurt as opposed to the full English map, which is a map of Great Britain. Maybe the worst one I've ever done. So you guys are heading obviously back to Fort Morgan that way. You're looking at something that is moving that way. Can you see where the it's moving in that direction?
Okay.
A couple of days travel. You clock what it is.
Ooh.
You have heard tales of the great beasts of the Coatl. and you see a tortoise the size of a skyscraper with buildings upon its back, walking in the distance, going east to west towards the mountains and the sea, somewhere up in that direction. But you're also aware that this is not the biggest of them. This is not Mackinac, which is the Kitza capital city. This is one of Mackinac's offspring. So, being that this is a town on the back of a tortoise, it is not a city on the back of a tortoise, but it's still visible. It's the dust clouds it is scraping up are like Brontosaurus dust clouds, like the kind of that we get.
Yeah.
So you can see that way off in the distance. Cool. You travel back. You set off along the trail. It's an easy navigation back. You're following the same map you had. You're following the same route you did. You can even probably set up camp in the same place you were 2 days ago, because it's the same.
Same route in reverse.
Would anyone care to do an interlude? There's no pressure to. I'll just give you a little shuffle. Shuffle. Okay. Take a card, any card. What have you got?
Ace of diamonds.
Ace
Another
of
ace.
diamonds. That is fortune. So that could be when you were lucky, when you achieved a goal, when you achieved a treasure, when you gained a boon, when you were given a favour. And obviously that can be ace is high, or it is just a diamond. That's your choice. You're sitting around the campfire at the little way station. These little way stations set up. There's nothing left here, bar maybe a bit of corrugated iron over some wooden beams.
Okay, I have an idea. So as we all sit down for our evening meal, Lily goes, "Do you know, I thought when I was younger that I was quite well off, good fortune, everything else. It wasn't until I met somebody else that I realized how really lucky you can be. And met Masal. Good man met him, and had a couple of children with him. It's the luckiest I've ever been to meet that man. Despite whatever the church and everyone else who saw us thought. But yeah. Do you all feel lucky today? You're fortunate. The problem with that kind of fortune, though, is that it does never last. And eventually, Sal was never as healthy as I was, so eventually he kind of passed before me. It wasn't quite as long. Life wasn't as kind to him as it was to me. For whatever reason, it's one of those things that happens. It's no one ever gets to live as long as they want to. A lot of people don't get to live. Don't get to live at all. But I never minded the horns on him. He was kind of nice. He's cute. The tail was nice. The church didn't like it though. Oh boy. They were very, very angry for a long time. Didn't know how angry until much later when I lost my daughter. Sorry, I'm getting nostalgia and angry again, and I need to stop. The doctor said my heart can't take it. I get too angry. Anyways, sorry.
I would like full-on embrace and hug.
Oh dear, it happened ages ago now. Ages and ages ago.
Do you have much family left?
funny she mentioned that. Remember I've been asking, you've probably seen me asking about 2 children. Those are my grandchildren.
I did wonder.
Been looking for them for a long time. When I lost my daughter, the tragedy that took her and her husband, they went missing. The last clue I've got is here, on this continent, and Firebrands.
How long ago?
A year, maybe more. It gets a bit difficult to tell anymore. I was on the ship for ages as well. Trying to get passage across was very difficult, especially when one of the many options I had sunk. Your ship sunk. I don't blame you. That's just a coincidence. I think just a roundabout thing. And
Yes, I don't believe that it blew up because of me.
I would hope not, dearie, but I don't blame you for that. I'm looking forward to the 2 of them.
How old would they be?
Oh, I think last time I saw them, they were 7 or 8. So probably about 9 or 10. They're still quite young, still impressionable, but the way they look.
Who's looking after them?
I don't know, dearie. To tell you the whole story, she wasn't like me, dearie. She's kind of both of us, the best of both of us. Had horns like her father, but alabaster skin, white, almost like pure snow. And she went off into adventure for a while. When she finally settled down and had her own kids. Eventually, once Sal was gone, and I was kind of the only family left she had, I came to her house one day bringing a fresh batch of cookies and found her, sword in hand, her husband butchered, her not much farther from this world, and the 2 children gone. And that's when my god decided not to give me any magic to heal her. And then the old woman showed up. Didn't say much, but gave me enough to get me going again. But I've been looking for them ever since.
Your lead was just Volan and the Firebirds, nothing more.
I've exhausted every other possibility. I checked my old churches, I checked every single other one that was anywhere on my home continent. This is the only other place it could be at this point. You probably know that the children, are quite valuable. People look at them as either divine, infernal, or inspiration, as gods. That man we brought in the pine box, he's viewed as a hero because he can burst his back out with wings every so often. Doesn't make you much stronger. Just means you got to pick feathers out of weird places sometimes. But a lot of churches use them. They aren't kind to them. Or they sometimes, in the case of those touched by infernals, they might do other things. Horrible rituals that they think might work, and because of the way divine magics work, sometimes they succeed. I don't know exactly what's happened to them. But the Firebrands are the best hope I've got, and I've been trying to earn enough gold to buy my way into various places. find who took them. If they or had a hand in my daughter. The old woman's going to have to wait in line.
That's not worth an inspiration point. Nothing else is, but I think you might already have one.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. In which case, during the course of this long rest, you can level up.
Ooh.
Feel free to do that as you go through.
I will also say, I would very much like to offer my assistance, should it be necessary.
If I have to take on all the firebrands, you may regret that statement, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
We can take them.
I have just had a message from someone saying that we can take them, apparently. I don't know if that is a comfort to you or the opposite.
And Leviathan, if you're listening, I appreciate it.
I don't think you get a response. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it ticking
roll
through.
for hit dice.
Yeah.
You don't have a negative con mod this time, do you?
I'll get to reroll ones at least.
So I'm
I do have a
guessing.
negative con mod.
Oh no, not again.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that everyone's going another level in their primary class.
So something different.
Cool. Nice.
That means it's
I'm
third
excited
level.
to see how this plays, basically, because
Yeah.
you're the first person to play test it. So yeah.
Okay, Pact of the Blade, done.
The god that failed you.
Yes, dearie.
What was their name?
Oh shoot. I can't remember either.
The god of light, basically.
Yeah. It might be in your backstory, but I can't remember what it was.
It's-
Only 4.
You fools rolling for hit dice.
You
I
all
rolled 8, thank
I
you
got
very
an 8
much.
last time.
nice. you all wake in the morning with. After that, it leaves you. I was genuinely quite close to tearing up there. That was absolutely beautiful. It does leave you with that kind of slight deflated feeling of. Wow. Okay. Like. Some real bad shit happens in this world, but you wake in the morning with renewed purpose and renewed vigor, healed from your wounds. I think Augustine, you're the only one who was actually injured, but with the combination of whatever energy is coursing through you as the dawn rises, combined with the healing provided by Lily, you are all unbroken and ready for the day.
I pick up my my sword cane
Yeah,
and it just crumbles to dust.
perfect.
Oh.
Dearie.
I apologise, I needed raw materials.
That's hurtful.
But I needed that to walk.
No, you don't.
Finally get out my moment token.
Oh, fuck
mini
yes.
hourglasses.
Oh, yes, dude!
Very cool.
Oh, I
Nice.
love it! Oh, hell yeah!
Did you know he had those?
I did not. No, I'm
Oh.
thrilled about that.
Oh, very cool.
I'll just ask in person.
Yeah.
I know from a campaign and mechanical perspective we are all leveling up at the same time.
Yeah.
But does, in the fiction, represent something about Augustine's backstory?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't think the power that you are accumulating, should we say, is... It is not like someone signed up for a loan and you leveled up. It is... you are accumulating power into yourself, and having had a bit of adrenaline and stuff, and you've meditated upon and internalized that power and given it time to like strengthen you up. And you know you can feel your muscles being reinforced and your reflexes sharpening as you sort of like meditate and think on the things you've learned and store that because you know better than anyone in the world that information is power. Yeah.
My question is, are you aging backwards as you level up?
Benjamin Button.
Alden is the name.
Alden.
God of the Dawn.
Yeah, but you awake refreshed, renewed, and more powerful and potent than you went to bed. It's a day's walk back to Fort Morgan. You trek through again. It's just so warm. And I've lost my Google Drive.
I'm tempted to ask people to make a perception check to hear the fans going, the cooling fans going.
Anyway, passive perception, I'll say 12 would do that. You're travelling through the same terrain, so there's no new like terrain. You're not passing any places that you wouldn't have passed the other day. You see, a few birds circling overhead, like desert vultures and things. But the road is quiet. As I say, out this way, west of Fort Morgan, there's precious few people. And you actually make it all the way back to Fort Morgan. The end of the second day, it is the evening, 5 p.m, 6 p.m, that kind of area. And you come in sight and you see the Fort Morgan gate. You're arriving earlier in the day than you were before. And as you see, you can see the guards there. It's not Sergeant McLean who you used to, it's a guard, but they know why you're here and they were coming in. And they bug.
Mike, do you have detect magic?
I have the ability to cast it, yes.
Okay.
But I don't have it passively up all the time.
I need to get rid of one of my invocations so I can take improved pact weapon.
Yeah, I mean, I can ritual cast it, so...
Okay, if you can ritual cast it, then fine.
Yes.
Separate prepared, sure thing.
Because I didn't want to get rid of my ability to cast Silent Image at will, because that one is...
Pretty good.
Even though I don't really use it much, it is just so flavourful.
Yeah.
Being able to create holograms.
Yeah. You hear the chains going ding, 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 as this massive stone block raises above the gate of Fort Morgan, and you are backing inside. There's a couple like subalterns, the younger members of the military, come and are taking like the beetle and the cart back to stables. You're unloading. You've got the briefcase, I presume, strapped to your wrist. And it's not too long afterwards that Sergeant McLean appears coming down the street. How's it going? Did you safe trip?
For the most part, dearie, somebody strung up a couple of firebrands.
Okay, cool.
Can I see like any hint of I don't give a shit about the firebrands?
So it's Firebirds.
Firebirds.
He rolled very well on his composure check. You sense there's something there, but he doesn't reveal his emotions about it. You just see him clock the knowledge, and you see him process the knowledge. You don't see his reaction to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure, right. Can we get those down to the generators? Yeah, follow me. Brings you down. Is everyone going down to the...
Yeah.
Cool. Brings you inside. You can see he, opens the briefcase very carefully, brings out these crystals. He's now wearing gloves to handle them as well.
That concerns me because we didn't have any gloves.
It's just to put them in the machine.
Right. Okay.
You can see as he takes the crystal and places it back through this like almost like perspex window that like slides apart. As he places it into the storage, you can see it begins to arc off onto connection points. Hence these like big insulated rubber gloves. Place the second one in. Place the third one. How'd you find the place?
Cozy.
Enlightening.
Perkity.
How's the hero doing?
Been a bit of a knock for him, Dying will do that.
Yeah, usually it's a bit more permanent.
Cunningham got back from the battlefront as well. Cunningham is Silas Cunningham. He's I think a major. He McLean. He's a major. He's the guy who dragged the body back. Yeah.
They're calling a dead man back to the battlefield.
Say again, sorry?
They're calling a dead man back to the battlefield.
No, sorry. To clarify, they called someone who was at the battlefield. Has returned and has been talking to Carter, and they've been, they've been. I think they got a lot of chat about. He was there when Carter, but just before Carter died, I think, just after. But he dragged his body back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
where are they out of curiosity?
Don't know. Haven't seen him. I know they were in the what you call it, the colonel's office. Right. Well, you're the one paying. I was about to say, yeah.
Yes, dear.
Fires off some promissory notes. Do you guys say anything about it, or?
Do they look the right amount? I guess.
Yeah. It looks like the amount that was agreed upon.
Yeah.
Do you recall what it was? I think it was.
X cost per day, I think we were.
I believe it was 5 gold per day. I'll check that on the recording.
Each, I think.
Yeah. So right. So script for 25 gold a person.
Any idea on why the guy's back alive? Was he definitely dead?
What, Carter? I'm putting it down to a fucking miracle.
Do you get many of those in these books?
Not as many as you'd think. Don't
As
look
many as you'd like.
a gift miracle in the mouth is what I always say. I say that a lot, all the time. Do you try and disguise that?
She tries to disguise that, yeah.
He sort of shoots you a look like, oh, okay, the vibe he gives off there is like, oh, I've clearly touched a nerve and I'm not going to press further. Because I don't want to offend this old lady. It's like,
So you go get our cash these then.
Yeah. Sure.
Pleasure doing business with you, dude.
Absolutely. We'll let you know if we've got any more work, but I think it's a bit dry at the moment. Being a desert.
Do you know much about an old refugee camp to the south?
No, this would be an old ruin to the south.
Yeah.
I know lots of ruins, but not one that's a refugee camp.
You know lots of.
I mean, there's a bunch of fucking ruins all over the place. It's.
Mike, these guys wouldn't know that it was a refugee camp.
Yes.
Because it was a refugee camp for the precursors.
Yeah.
Also, south of here is a lot of country.
Yeah.
I mean, without looking at the map.
Throw.
Could say like X distance to the south of here.
You can roll out a map of Ireland certainly, and he says,
about here, dude.
That's not a natural 20. Sorry, not in particular.
No worries.
Are there any other logistical sites that you use to maintain this place?
Not that I can share.
Are there any firebirds in town, by the way?
Probably. He doesn't appear to like that. You clock on the passive insight that he's like, probably, fucking assholes. Yeah, doesn't seem keen.
Doesn't seem
Oh,
keen.
Do you recognise this? And then you take off my glove, and then warm hologram above my hand of the rock formation that is that we have.
That's a great question.
Do you recognise the location of this?
Was that just a rock?
It's a specific rock formation somewhere.
I can't say I do, but I'm not a scout. I'm a sergeant at arms here. I don't really go places. You'd be best off asking the scouts.
Oh, I will do just that then. Thank
We've also got a little library up on the top of the hill if you feel like it. It's got some old maps and stuff.
Marvellous, thank you very much.
Charmed. It's a really weird hand you got there.
Yes, thank you.
God,
You're
you
welcome.
don't know the half of it.
And you know what? I don't want to.
No, it's better you don't.
Can I kind of tug at his shirt in the same way that an 8-year-old might?
Yeah, go on then.
So, you trusted us with the shield generators and the crystals.
Some of the crystals for the shield generators. Right.
What aren't you telling us?
I'm not telling you, that's the point.
He could be helpful.
Are you
like
sure
being
he could?
helpful.
You have the appearance and vibe of someone who loves helping people. And it usually ends in explosions, am I right?
Yeah.
I know your type.
Who normally goes down to does this errand?
Roll insight.
Really told us, didn't he? It's just regular guards, but they're a bit short-staffed.
15.
He looks sad, honestly, just for a second.
Natural 20 plus 6 on the inside.
A natural 20 with a 26. Boy. Okay, you clock a little sadness. You not only clock that, you understand it and process it. Probably the guys who were supposed to be doing this rotation died last week after the schedule was made, but before
Yeah.
you set off. That's a fresh wound,
Okay.
is what I'm saying. Yeah, short-staffed, you know.
It's okay, dearie. Death comes for everyone.
I was more just curious whether you've been there and seen it.
Once or twice, but I say I run things around here. I'm a logistics man. I was Austerian Area Logistics Corps before I took over here. Before Fort Morgan was built, I came over. Battle of Harlan.
Do I recognise him? Like, if he was in logistics, would I have had any kind of...
He is... Roll history. Yeah, go on, roll history.
It's a grand total of 2 because I rolled a natural 1.
You don't recognise him specifically. Like, he... the Austerian Army sent a big contingent of soldiers. There were 5,000 soldiers or something came over
Okay, that's fair.
initially. And
If I was
his
a clerk,
vibe is more... He was like a logistics attaché to a unit rather than a clerk, which is what you were.
I don't really know the military very well
Yeah, for
in
real,
real
yeah.
life, so I didn't know if the
Yeah,
clerks
I-
would have much.
You're more like of an office bean counter. He would have been with them, actually doling out bullets and that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I also wanted to was Will is wondering if he recognised the guy because he was then suddenly worried the guy might recognise him.
It's a good point. That is still not good enough. No. I mean, he has been out of Fort Morgan for 12 years. Or at least in this area. He would have left shortly after the Battle of Harlan when a lot of the military came out this way, before the Penrose Accords probably. Both of you, even if you had ever met, which is not a guarantee, both of you have changed enormously in that time. And he would have been 7. No, he's probably in his he's in his mid-30s. He would have been a young man in his early 20s, and he's now like quite a grizzled soldier.
So grizzled.
Grizzled.
But yeah, the mention of the Battle of Harlan, was it?
Yeah.
Is there like a composure check that I could do?
Just I'd say roll charisma or wisdom, your choice.
I decided to go for charisma, which is a +4, and still only got a 7.
You see Will's eye twitch at the mention of the Battle of Harlan. I think you talked about it last week originally, that your wife was...
Yeah, Lily's got high enough passive
I'll
insight.
get back
Come
to
on, dearie, let's get going. We don't need to bother this gentleman anymore. Come on, let's go with him.
How... Only because I can't see the map. Roughly how many days travel away from the refugee site? Like the market refugee site?
Know them.
4 or 5. It's quite far.
Yeah,
5.
it's probably 6, 7. Oh, it'd be a full week's travel if you wanted to go that way. It's probably maybe 7:30 in the evening, by the way. Here, like things are kicking out. Like bars are beginning to like you can hear like full fiddle reels going on. And you can like there's dancing and stuff and booze and people spilling out into the streets and fighting and.
We should get our money, dearies.
Yes.
Yes.
Get money, stay the night.
Yeah.
I would
The
be
bank is
interested
probably
in
going to be
speaking-
closed at this point as
Okay,
well.
so
it might
stay
be-
But we
Right,
need to
then
get
get
them
one.
signed first before we can.
McLean
That's what
can
he did when
do
we-
that
okay.
for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would be interested in speaking to Carter Garland. Out of character, I'd be interested in speaking to Carter Garland
Lily
for plot
wants to go.
reasons.
Lily
Yeah.
wants to go there anyway, so.
So maybe we could ask McLean if there's any chance of being able to speak to Carter.
If I see him, I'll let him know you're looking for him.
Just tell us where he is, dear, and we'll handle the rest.
I don't know. I think Ian Cullen probably went for a drink or something.
Went for a drink.
Officer's mess or some bollocks. I don't know.
Right, where's that?
NCOs don't get graced with that, you know.
No, dearie. But where is it? Imagine they'll let us in.
They might not in Fort Morgan, to be honest.
Might do.
Um, Yeah, I saw him this morning. They were heading up north end of the city, and he'll give you an address for the officer's mess.
Imagine we can get in. We
In all of your time in logistics and outside of it, do you know anyone who travels by horse?
It's pretty expensive. Yeah, a fair few people. Some of the rich folks the rich people out of Harlem. Yeah, quite a lot of people, to be honest. I mean, it's expensive, but some
Not
people like that
undoable.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else you can tell me about the horse? The colour, the
It's big. They probably,
big narrows it down, but probably not enough.
The rider was strong, probably quick.
No, it's the Firebirds.
And you think you probably see the same clock of recognition in the eyes, but he just doesn't say anything.
How?
If you have any kind of way of sending out the message, perhaps some people should be aware that Firebirds are being strung up in such a way that it turns them into dangerous undead.
Yeah, okay, no worries.
We found some just outside on our first way in here, when we still had the pine box.
Sure, yeah.
can't be everywhere, dearie. Can't be putting everyone in graves. So people need to be doing it themselves.
Our
Yes,
lads have
I-
had a couple of encounters with the same.
So you know who's doing this then?
Oh, I got my suspicions, but that is a fucking mess that I'm not getting involved with.
You don't have to, dearie.
We like mess.
It's under my purview anyways.
Don't mention just no color, right?
I'm not saying nothing.
It's a
dearie.
sore point, but there is a bloke used to be her in her circle, you know, bloke called Josiah.
She's high, dearie.
Goes by Mad Josiah, if you ask most people nowadays. He's a sheriff.
Right.
Firebirds did him something dirty. Not sure what happened, but he fucking hates him now.
Well, dear.
Kincaid is his surname.
Josiah Kincaid.
Aye. And as I say, just don't bring it up with the Colonel.
Of course not, dearie. I have no intention.
Before we let you go for the evening, do you have any business that needs attending to down south? Like in the direction that we might be heading?
Yes.
I can have an ask. Not currently, but I can ask.
Officer's mess. We can see if we can find a
Yeah.
hero.
Sure. Yeah, you head straight up there. So this is you're sort of headed up this spiraling path through the city, past the spur where you stayed the other day. And yeah, there is a little kind kind of like private bar, basically. It's got like a doorman and like the windows are like wooden shutters, but they're to and locked, and there are a couple of like corporals on the door. And as you sort of approach one, says, "I'm sorry, ma'am, unless you're accompanied by an officer, I can't let you in." Regulations, you understand?
No, dearie, I don't. But I understand you have to say that in order for you to feel better about yourself and your general well-being, and your needing to be out here in this heat.
Yeah.
Would you perhaps be able to make an exception for a member of the Watchmaster's office of Harlem?
I'm sorry.
So a member of the Harlem Watch, former military.
I mean, it's not really a rank thing here, sir. It's just the officers' club.
We're looking to speak to Carter Garland, dearie.
Oh,
we're the ones who brought him in a pine box the last time.
Sure. Sorry, Carter's not here.
Oh, well, that's helpful. Thank you, dear. Where is he then? Do you know?
I haven't seen him.
You haven't. I find that's very strange, dear.
You're aware of his situation, right? He's alive.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So the
Yeah.
at the top of the town, no one.
I haven't seen him today. This is a big city, sir.
All right, dear. So he's not here.
He's not in the officers' mess.
All right, thank you, dearie. That narrows it
When I
down.
say I haven't seen him, I have not let him through the door.
All right, dearie. So he could be in here, but he's not through this door.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, dearie. Oh, dearie. She looks at him like a grandmother who's realized her son has very few brain cells to put together. Like, oh.
He's a very handsome boy. And that has got him far,
Yes.
but only to a point.
You're a handsome boy. Have a cookie.
He's sort of like, oh, that's quite nice.
And he gets a cookie.
Yeah, it's great, yeah. So this has been a positive interaction. He's still going to let you in, but...
Still not going to let us in, but that's
Yeah.
fine. Because what we want is probably not in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, that's a bust. We'll have to try and find him tomorrow. Or unless you want to go wandering around the town.
McCain did say that he would let him know
They're
that
very
we
looking
were
for
looking
him.
for him. And I imagine he would want to speak to us as much as we want to speak to him.
I really hope he doesn't end up in another pine box, though. But for now, let's go back to that bar with the grunk.
You head back to the spur.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's got like the wooden like carved pub sign with the actual shape of the spur cut out in the wood and everything. And actually, the spur does spin when the wind blows. It's got a little wind, what are those little windmill paper things like that spin around? You know what I mean?
A weather vane?
Not quite a weather vane. Like little mesmatron things that have the different colours, and then they. I don't know. Anyway, you see the proprietor sort of looks at you and goes, and then puts the customer service face on. Hello there, what can I get you? There isn't any secretions. Anything.
I'm not going to ask for secretions theory. I've come to understand that it's a bit rude to ask you that for any of those things. I just want a room.
Rooms? Sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You. Do you know any owls? There was a big, robot owl looking for you. Roll a DC 5 history check.
Isn't it impossible for you to fail?
It is.
Yeah. I've got more than 5.
You got all the 5. You know whose owl that is.
Is this from the university?
So your adoptive family, basically.
Yes.
So you've got Nicodemus, who is much more the artillerist kind of artificer.
How do you have
And-
the world's slowest bird delivering post?
I believe this one had some kind of jetpack on it, so it's not the world's slowest fucking bird, I tell you that.
We needed a large animal to contain all the fuel.
Make it after an albatross. The wings lock.
But where are you going to put the guns?
Why do you? Never mind.
Whereas Ignatia, your big sister / sort of
Yes.
maternal figure, Nicodemus's daughter, is a battlesmith and taught you some of the secrets of battlesmithery, but also is a much sterner hand than Nicodemus's well-meaning absent-mindedness.
So she's more likely to have the owl.
That's her owl. That's
her
her
owl.
steel defender, or one of her steel defenders.
Did you tell the owl I was here?
I said you had been here. I mean, it's pretty fucking unusual, and honestly, frogs are prey animals, so if a big fucking owl with a laser and a jetpack comes in here and asks me where someone is, I'm gonna fucking tell them.
Good to know.
Did you also say that she left?
The owl, yeah, left.
I mean, did you tell the owl that she left?
Oh yeah.
Is this somebody we need to be avoiding, dearie? Just so my own notification.
I'm not sure. What mood was the owl in?
If you need to ask that question, dearie, that's a good sign to avoid them. I'm gonna roll 2 things there.
Oh no! If I
To
look
be honest,
outside,
the owl being both a bird and made principally of clockwork is pretty inscrutable. And can I just say, inscrutable is the absolutely best fucking word to say in a Scouse accent. Inscrutable. As a bird, that owl was inscrutable.
if I look out the window, do I see a giant mechanical owl just staring through the window?
Roll perception.
6.
No. You don't see the owl outside the window.
Do you just sell drinks here? Or do you sell
So drinks, food, rooms.
clothes? Cloaks?
You see a guy on the side. Oh, I'll send you a cloak.
Sold!
He's not going to be able to get a cloak off.
Yeah, he's really. You could see him. You could see he's really concentrating and trying to work out how to take his cloak
I
off.
think.
Can
I
I
think.
assist
I think.
with the taking
I-
off of
I
You
think-
you unbutton the cloak, and as it falls away, he just topples backwards.
Oh dearie.
Oh dear. Okay. I'll put... Because presumably he's still got like a shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tuck a couple of silver pieces into his...
Yeah, that's
pocket.
plenty enough. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and then
You
take...
could probably buy a nicer one tomorrow.
Yes.
I don't think you need it in your room tonight. My point.
Covers my hair while we're in here.
Yeah,
sort of
it certainly does.
distinctive. Cool.
You do stand out a bit.
Cool. Yeah.
How much are the rooms, Steve?
It's going to be like for all of you. It'll be like a gold and a half for the night.
I've got this.
Oh, thank you, dear. It's very gentlemanly of you.
Well, I did. The gold from the bodies didn't split evenly, so I took the extra, and so it makes sense for me to.
In that case, that's not very gentlemanly of you.
Yeah. No, it's just making sure I hit all my beats. Yeah, like, are you guys staying up to drink and party, or are you going up to your rooms and the...
Lillian's an old lady, so no.
Fair. It's a free choice in a free country, yeah.
Will sit in the bar for a bit and just try and listen in on what people are talking about.
Cool. So you...
Also, we'll check the board to see if there have been any new.
there is no
drawings.
new poster.
Okay.
So you walk over to the you walk over the board and just sort of search through like the ones that were kind of. Can I get a dex save from you?
A dex save.
A dex save.
Oh, I'm great at those. 15.
As you walk over, you see this fucking mountain of a man who is like not looking where he's going, turns round, and you like bump into him, and his drink goes all over him. And he looks down at you and goes, "You wanna fucking go?"
Go where?
Is this like right
Outside?
as Lily starts walking up the
I'm
stairs
very
and
comfortable
turns
inside.
around?
I think it might be a few minutes after, but if you want to like
Sure,
be present
yeah.
for this, you can do.
She like turns around.
I think I'm very comfortable inside. Thank you very much. And I.
He like pushes you in the chest.
Does his
Do
eye
I
glow
roll
red?
a saving throw to just be like, boom, like nothing happens, like con save? Just to body it.
I'm going to say it's going to be an opposed athletics.
Okay.
Does the shove trigger his eye? Like, does it? Can we
Oh
see-
yeah, you can see, yeah, but the full reticule comes on. You haven't like hexed or hexblade's curse, but it's definitely like
Total of 11 for the opposed athletics.
I have some new nanite functions if you would like to try them out.
I think
Lily's
what would
watching
happen
this,
is
just like-
is the sword, and not the sword Ken you had before. That sword would just go out of nowhere.
Yeah.
No, not looking to fight.
I think he's going to push you and say, "Well, I'm looking to fight." He pushes you in the chest again.
I advise not doing that, dearie.
I would advise doing it.
Just,
Like that was loud enough for the guy who's pushing
Yeah.
him to hear. And does he say anything?
No.
No, he's just like.
He seems pretty dead set on a punch up, to be honest.
And I would like to say, I suggest you sit down and forget about all of this.
That's a very interesting move. Okay, what's your spell save DC?
14.
Yeah, he fails, so he sits down and forgets about all of this. Cookie, eat your perception.
That is a perception 17.
You see 3 other guys at the door, peering in after him, and like, could you also roll me stealth?
This is where it goes very wrong. Yeah, you've
Yeah.
disadvantage.
This is the jiggly one as well.
That's a natural 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's jiggly because these are 2 metal dice.
I also like that, but when you get 2 together, that's where the stealth disadvantage comes in, because it's jingle, jingle, jingle. They look in at him, and he is there just like, kind of like just blank spot on the wall staring ahead, and just takes a drink and just sits there, just quite placidly. They peer in, clock him not having a fight with you, then clock you clocking them.
The sword will disintegrate and reform into a gun.
The barman leads her. I don't mean to be rude, but please don't shoot anybody. There's lots of paperwork.
This isn't intentional.
That's somehow worse.
So Lily comes back down the stairs
Yeah.
at this point and is like, "Oh, I need to deal with this somehow." Goes up to the 3 guys who are obviously that guy's buddies. Deedee, can you just go? Because something really bad's about to happen, and I don't want to see none of you hurt. Don't you just want to have a nice cookie and go
Don't know
home?
what you're talking about, man.
You're his friend, the one sitting in the chair looking at the wall.
Never met the guy.
Are you sure, dearie? I think.
Yep. He's not trying to hide the fact that he's lying. Like, this is
Okay.
not like a deception insight thing. He's just like, they're just not.
I'm an old hand from these kinds of parts, and I've been here a long time, and I don't really have time to deal with liars and idiots. So can you 3 of you fuck off, or something really, really bad is going to happen? And her eyes begin to turn
That's
black.
intimidate. Yeah, that's intimidate, for sure.
While they're distracted, Can Ms. be served alcohol?
The barman will serve you alcohol.
In that case, while they're distracted, she will order an alcoholic beverage.
Okay, cool.
Unnatural 20.
Augustine will offer his to clink glasses.
So you guys are having a party.
The
Unnatural
geriatric
20.
two are dealing with them, yeah. Unnatural 20.
Yeah, honestly, these three guys, like, as the timbre of your voice shifts just...
Oh,
with
can I
it,
provide
and-
advantage on that by just holding the gun up to the back of their friend's head while he's sat there?
Boy! Yeah, roll with advantage.
It's
This
hardly
is
better.
not having a party, this is enjoying the show.
Yeah, no, for real. Fuck me.
Without breaking eye contact from them.
Does your eye glow?
My eye is also glowing red.
Between that and the, like, sub-bass harmonic on your quite, like you know, alto old lady voice, that shits them up. I'm fucking bored of this place anyway. Come on, let's get out of here. And one of them, like, flicks a peanut at the other guy. And he sits remaining at the bar, having a drink and forgetting about all of this. Yeah. And they, it's like, I'm fucking bored of this place. Yeah, just hoodlum kind of vibe. And they walk off down the street. Yeah. They're never going to admit that was fucking terrifying. Just like putting it up to the back of the guy's head and him doing nothing about it is horrifying. I love it. Yeah. Can I get a perception check from anybody who was like up close and personal with them? So I think you... Yeah, you two.
18.
12.
You can see, like, tied to their belts is, like, black bags and manacles. Like, kidnapping gear.
Yeah, I'll figure out what they're doing there. Okay.
So Augustine, Miz, you're there making merry and enjoying this...
Do you all sell popcorn?
Popcorn! Yes! Yeah, it feels like this, that's quite like a grung, quite a rana. Sorry, is the name of the setting. It's quite a rana food, really. Yeah, it comes out with like glazed like sriracha, so it's like really spicy as well.
So
I will offer
Lillian,
popcorn.
Lillian turns around, goes back to you. You still have the gun to the back of this guy's head.
I mean, I can hold concentration on this for 8 hours.
I mean, but do you physically have the gun to the back of his head, is what I mean?
No. Now that they've gone, the gun will go down.
Right, we're going to have a conversation about what those 3 idiots, along with this one, were doing here, because they weren't here just to have a pawn shop.
Does this one have manacles on him?
No.
Those 3 over there, they were here to kidnap somebody. And if this idiot was here to cause a pawn shop, that means they were here to kidnap
Reminding
you
myself of,
or somebody else with you.
Well, this one is going to sit here for another 8 hours.
I'm going to sit here for another 8 hours. Sorry, it's that was. I'm going to sit here for another 8 hours.
Are you dear? Alright.
I think if I want to get any information out of him, I could try asking him. I'll try asking him. What were you doing here?
You see,
Thing is, I've told him to forget about everything.
you have.
So I'm assuming the answer to what are you doing here is I'm sitting
here and
forgetting about everything.
yeah. I'll be in the corner, being quiet and pretending I don't exist.
I'm gonna guess you did this to him, dearie.
Yes.
And you may have chosen your words very poorly.
Well, I thought it was just some drunk.
Nope.
I get that now.
Neurolinguistic programming is not an exact science.
Yeah, I do not have a technological reason for this spell.
I think it is sort of like that psychology hacking of you know, like sending out those vague, ethereal kind of arcane electrical signals to just directly hack someone's brain. Yeah.
Yeah, fair
You
enough.
snow crashed him. Jesus.
See?
You've never snow crashed.
Afraid not.
Oh, okay. It's an old.
Heard of it? I've
Yeah.
Because it's so old.
It deals with that basically.
Excuse me, barkeep. Do you happen to have any manacles we could borrow?
Exactly what kinds of...
No, see, no.
Party
This
are
is
you
how we
into?
get into trouble,
That's,
dearie.
it's not that kind of establishment.
Very
It's the
well.
wrong kind of manacles for that, anyways, dear.
In that case, while this gentleman is sitting here and forget about everything, I'm going to tie his wrists behind his back, and then I'll drop the active effect, and then when he can't run away or attack, I can then try and do the same effect again.
I don't think we want to do this in the bar area.
No.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, that guy hasn't actually done it. Like, I suppose he was trying to punch you, but I probably would have just called the guards on him.
Do you
so.
have a back room, dear? I promise.
Not for that.
On my life, there'll be no torture and no blood.
You see, saying the sentence, I promise there'll be no torture and no blood, makes me think there's going to be torture, but you're going to find a way to remove the blood.
No, dearie, I promise. On my honour as a grandmother, I promise not to torture him. And no blood.
She takes being a grandmother very seriously.
Very do, dearie.
No.
I'll give you a cookie.
No.
Alright, dearie.
So I believe that this gentleman was trying to, what is the phrase? Stitch me right up. And lure me into the waiting arms of those three miscreants with the black hoods and the manacles.
Okay.
So I would very much like to take this gentleman to somewhere private and just have a conversation with him.
You see, when you say have a conversation,
I mean, have a
Would you
actual
feel
conversation.
take
more,
him to the guard's house then.
Would you feel more well, the problem is, dearie, is that the guards are just to take him away and then he'll just make up some cockamamie story, dear. And it won't help us find out who else is coming after
Look,
us.
best will in the world. You guys are going to fuck off in a couple of days. You're not going to be in Fort Morgan, but those
That's
guys might
true.
not. So
That's
I'm not
true.
picking sides here.
That's fair, dear.
Very well. Can I just have the key to my room, please?
Look, you little shit.
I just wanted to go up to sleep, up to bed. I may bring my new friend with me. That's just hanging out with someone I've made friends with after a small misunderstanding.
I don't think. I don't think so. No.
I'm trying to give him plausible deniability.
How about we just take him outside, dearie, and just let him get some fresh air?
Yes, he should
See,
walk
that's
it
the
off.
plan I can get on. But there's a lovely horse trough across the street.
Is there, dearie? Is there a nice alleyway nearby?
There is an alleyway,
Oh,
crucially, between a business that is not my business and another business that's not my business.
Alright, dearie, then we'll be out of your business then.
Wasn't it just?
Let's go, come on.
Can we borrow this chair?
5 silver.
I'll give him 5 silver.
Sure, yeah. You can borrow the bar stool, yeah.
It's the most you made all night? For
It specifically is the one that he sat on.
Yeah.
So just lift him up and then
When
start
you
pulling
first
the
met,
chair
you
away.
talked about attaching rockets to a coffin. I thought you were the one to worry about.
And
You,
he's
you
wanting to
said-
sit down on this chair. Oh yeah. Actually, I'll drag him away
you
on
sort
the
of
chair.
done too. Is that you leave him up on the floor? It's fine. And you drag this guy out of the pub across like the cobbled street, at which you point.
I'm mostly just going to make sure he doesn't hurt the guy.
Let me just go for. By the way, you can see like an overlay over this guy's body of like nerve clusters. You know what Leviathan wants to do.
So when he's in the alley,
Yeah.
I am going to tie him to the chair,
Yep.
arms behind his back.
I'm going to give. I think I'm going to give
it.
another wisdom saving throw because he was asked to sit here.
Yeah, fair enough.
What was the DC?
14.
All right, carry on.
When you lead him out the bar, I guess I no longer have an opportune viewing position, so
Right.
I will follow
You
you.
could buy another chair to sit on.
Outside.
What supply and demand? 8 silver.
Hustler.
Game respecting game, mate.
I will come out and
Yeah, no worries.
follow them. I would like to pick his pockets as they tie him down. If they manage to successfully tie him down, I will pick his pockets.
Yeah, sleight of hand.
I will have another alcoholic beverage.
10.
So Miz is there getting schwasty at the bar. You're picking pockets and you're dragging a guy off to torture. What was the total? 10. Like he's got like a big sap, like basically like a leather tube that's filled with like lead shot. Like it's for whacking someone in the head and knocking them out. But he's not. This guy's just hired muscle basically.
Okay.
He's got no trapping. Same organisation.
Cool.
You know what to look for and know what to read.
Yeah.
Yeah. You two have a guy tied to a chair in an alleyway.
Break the spell, dearie, so we can start this process out.
Okay. Gun.
To the knackers.
Well, I was actually going to have it so that when the spell broke, he would be looking down the barrel.
Yeah.
I'll stand behind him in the exact position not to be seen by him when he wakes up.
Actually, the gun transforms. Do shotguns exist in this setting?
Yes, but they wouldn't have a mechanically different like.
It's fine.
The difference between a pistol and a shotgun is fucking huge. So yeah, like.
I mean,
you can certainly get like a coach gun kind of thing, yeah. Like
basically, I want it
it
so
would
that
change
he's looking
form.
down a very big barrel or a very big pair of barrels.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there, and then concentration breaks with that in his face.
To be honest, he just he, like snaps back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Sees he is 2 inches from going full Kurt Cobain, and pushes himself backwards on the chair, even just by the momentum, and in full shock, and is now lying on the cobbles.
No.
She's
I am
behind it.
standing behind him, so he does this, and I go, hey.
Very
Catch your
stylish.
fall there.
Hey man, what the fuck?
We're going to have a conversation.
Hopefully it'll be a short conversation, dear.
I'm laughing. He's not.
That's fine. Will's not laughing either.
Yeah, that's fine. What? You can't help! He just starts shouting out. He's like, you can't just tie people to fucking chairs and point guns at them.
You and your 4 friends were going to hurt my friend and try and drag him away.
Don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I suggest
to
you
black
tell
again.
me everything we want to know.
Oh.
Okay.
See?
Okay. See, now that is... he says... he says, like, I'm going to word that slightly and advantageously towards you, because you asked him, is that you going to say... He's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and yes, me and my 3 friends are going to kidnap your friend.
Oh, dearie.
And I've got 8 hours of he will tell me everything I
That
want to know.
is as much as you're getting with suggestion, because it is, if it can be completed in a shorter time, what you guys wanted to know was... Yeah.
Oh, I was interpreting because I've not actually read this.
I know, but
I was going
that's-
to keep on adding in. I
Yeah.
want to know this, and I thought. He was gonna tell me.
I think that has completed the strictest understanding of the suggestion spell.
So
for
now...
Okay.
if the suggestion
alright.
could be completed in a shorter time, the spell ends when the subject finishes what it was asked to do.
So now I've understood, dearie, that you were trying to kidnap my friends. You've just admitted to that, and me and my friends and everyone here, and we, of course, have ways of recording that information so that if we decide to go to the guards, we can do that. Now, I'd like for this to end peacefully and quickly, but for that to happen, I need to know who sent you here. I'm just a grandmother.
No.
No, dearie.
Like,
You're scared.
he's got a shotgun in my face and no, like, he doesn't
That's-
point at you, obviously.
But that's not
he's-
what you're scared of. You're scared of whoever employed
I am
you.
more... No, I
Yes,
don't
you
know
are.
what you're talking about.
You're more scared.
And he, by the way, he's continuing, help, these psychos got me tied to a fucking chair here! And people are actually, like, noticing.
Lily looks at the two of you. The two of you look the fuck away. Lily looks at him, and her eyes turn black and begin bleeding, and she grows wings, black feathered wings.
Okay.
And it's necrotic shroud, and he needs to make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened. And it's probably still fucking terrifying.
10?
That's a failure.
Yeah.
And then the voice is like more like the Bene Gesserit kind of like reverberations out, and it's just like, tell me now who you work for, because believe me, you'll be more scared of the Black Lily than anyone else.
That's a cool pirate name. That's a real cool pirate name. He moves from like.
He went from normal level of fear to
no,
supernatural levels of fear.
What I'm saying is he went from obstinate to pleading.
Yeah.
Is that like you can't make? Please don't make. Like you can't do that because like.
I won't
like
tell anybody, dear.
We both know you work for, and I don't know the name, but we in character know the name.
Yes, it will be. Oh, fuck, I never came up with a name for them because I didn't know it was going to come up. Fuck. What we are for now going to refer as the Harlan Syndicate.
Okay. So I did name a
Yes.
specific NPC.
It was the NPC, but it's the organisation rather than the person.
Well, I did give him a surname. I thought it'd be that. The surname.
what was the surname?
family. I'm just trying to find it. Angeles.
Angeles.
Angeles
it would be the Angeles Syndicate. Yeah. You. That's what you read in the Thieves' Cant. Yeah.
We both know that you work for the Angeles family.
Look, hey, come on, man. You know what you know. Like, he can't hold his hands up because his hands up. He's like, hey, man, you know what you know. I didn't tell you anything. I didn't tell you shit.
What was the item that you had that had the reason that I clocked that he worked for them?
I'm gonna say it's like a bandana or a badge, or like there's some kind of thing that wouldn't be noticeable to your regular person, but as part of like the visual language of Thieves' Cant it's fucking obvious. Like it's not.
So if it's a bandana, you can just dangle it in front of his face.
Oh, for sure, you can pick it off and it's like.
If it was a weapon specifically, I was going to hit him with it first.
It's not a weapon, unfortunately. You can punch him if you like.
You could choke him a little bit with it.
No, I like the poeticness of punching him with the thing that proves that he is.
Yeah, it's just even to go for like a gentle dink into the forehead, kind of.
Let's do that.
Hey man, I can tell you anything, but you know, like whatever you want to take from that information. Like if you think that means I work for who you think, can she stand a bit further away, please?
Run, dearie. Run.
I'm tied to a fucking chair.
Doesn't stop most people from running away.
Did you tie his legs to the chair?
Yeah. So he said his legs.
Yeah,
I've watched a person hop
behind.
away on a bar stool.
Like, oh, go on then. It's fucking three. He just face plants like he can't get out of the gutter he's now in, and like one side of his face all fucked up, and he's just like she's trying to like worm away from Lily at this point.
Lily looks young as well, like in her 20s at best. Like this has done something to her where she is like aged backwards, and she is terrifying.
Yeah.
She like lets it go, lets the necrotic shroud just like fall into her.
I think at this point some guards are going to show up. Now, I'm going to roll something for you guys with advantage. So a couple of guards show up, and like on a normal day, just two fucking groups of assholes, or like especially three people beating on one guy, that would draw some comment. But like
Not hurt him.
These
None
are.
of us have punched him at all.
I mean,
Just
like,
scared
you back
shitless
up.
and tied up.
yeah.
You stopped him.
I
from
stopped
getting hurt.
Technicalities will only get you so far. However, like these guys clearly clock who you are, and clock who this guy. This guy is just a guy. You guys are the guys who brought Carter Garland's body back. And there's a couple of guards walk and say,
So they start walking
Everything
a bit
o-
slower.
"Everything okay here?
Everything's
We all
fine.
friends?"
Everything's fine, dear.
We're just having a nice conversation with this new acquaintance of ours.
He's like he's screaming for help on the
We
ground.
don't take very kindly to kidnappers.
Right. So he basically just pulls the knot on the rope tying to the chair, and sort of hefts him up by the scruff of the neck. And says, "You're not planning to stay in the city, are you?" You go, "No, fucking not." No, that was Irish. "No, I'm fucking not." And he says, "So you're not gonna bother these fine people again? We all we all understanding each other? We're just gonna go our separate ways, leave each other alone.
Of course, dearie, of course. I'd even give him a cookie. It's a normal cookie, but there is implied threat there.
Yeah. If he is, he like fully recoils from. That's fucking terrifying. He like fully recoils from that, and
It's only terrifying in context.
and the guard says like, "Yeah, I think we're good. Off you go." And the guy,
The shotgun dissolves.
it just dissolves back into your body.
But then, the red light in the eye pulses. It's like, if I see you again, well, just remember, I've got my eye on you.
What the fuck are you, man? What the fuck is she?
I'm just a grandmother, dear. I got some cookies. And
Okay. Let's keep it nice and civil. Everyone's having a good time. Let's not
I'm just a grandmother. Would either of you two boys like a cookie?
I would actually love a cookie.
Yes, here's a cookie to you.
The guy at this point is like off, like between Terminator Eye, Scary Grandma, and also a banker.
The scariest of all of us.
It's the harm of business, man.
Yeah. Miz, how many drinks are you in?
Well, that's going to
So,
be a future problem.
probably 2, maybe 3 at this stage. She's not aiming to get drunk, but
You hear
But
a clunk on the bar next to you. Hoot. 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 In this like cold robotic voice that actually just says the word hoot. 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 You turn and there is a big robot owl staring you in the face.
Oh. Hey.
We're outside.
Yep. You guys sort of making your way. Like, you had to go like across the street and down an alleyway and stuff, and but
I suppose because I did a check as well. I got a 3 on a con save against
Cool.
the alcohol. So
oh, you're not in a good place
No.
for this right now, but it's happening anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, do you drink much?
No, this is the first time.
Okay.
So that's why I rolled the con save, because
Yeah.
even at 2 or 3 drinks.
You can see that the owl has a little postman's bag. like it's not part of the clockwork. It's an actual little leather postman's bag, and it rotates. Its feet stay where it is. Its head stays where it is, and the torso rotates to offer you the bag.
Thanks. So is it offering the entire
The
bag
contents.
or the contents? Yeah.
There is a small wrapped paper package that is addressed to Misty Turner. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Good. It just flutters very gently out the door, and you hear the rocket boost kick in.
Cool.
I love that owl.
Even,
Nature's slowest bird, huh?
even under the influence, I don't think I'd be quite reckless enough to open a mystery package from a participant in the middle of a crowded bar. I will instead go upstairs to my room, or at least attempt to get up there.
You got 3 on that con save, right?
Yeah.
It takes you a fucking while, and you're like going back and forth, and and eventually you get through them. Yeah, there's a little wax sealed paper package, a little bit of string around it. It's very Type A, nicely presented.
Very nice. So yeah, I will attempt. Probably take me 2-3 attempts to actually break the seal as I'm.
Yeah.
Like,
Inside there is a small silver mirror. It's oval. It's about sort of yay big.
okay.
As your fingerprints lie on the back of it, you feel the runes just tingle with electricity, and you hear it go. Misty Turner, what have you been doing? Where have you been? Have you been drinking?
No.
I am so disappointed in you. And when Dad hears about this, he's going to be so disappointed in you as well. You realise you're on academic probation. You're in so much trouble, young lady.
This is field research.
Field research, is it? You've got to come back to the university, because you got to have a meeting with the dean about your discipline to see about your future in this university.
Sorry, you're breaking up. Say that again. As I'm slowly pushing you under the pillow.
Don't you ignore Misty? Don't you ignore me? Don't you ignore You're gonna be in so much trouble.
And then probably at that point I will then pass out on the pillow.
Excellent. Yeah, cool. That happens.
Right.
And you guys come back in the bar. You see Misty was here, and no longer is.
Yeah, like Lily will go to the bar. Where is our companion, the pink-haired one upstairs, right? Did she make it up on her own, or what's happening here? Because
Well, it was a real slow bird.
Right. Okay. So Slowbird showed up.
Aye.
Then.
No, that's Scottish. Aye.
Then what happened, dearie?
Dropped off a package for her. She went upstairs.
Oh, that's okay.
And the bird left.
That sounds
Slowly.
fine. Excuse me, sir. Would you happen to be in the market for a new chair?
I'd love one, thanks.
Pardon?
Love one, thanks.
Oh, marvellous. It'll only cost you 8 silver.
But I've got more chairs than you. Although I do specifically believe you're rented the chair. Could I have my chair back, please?
Very well. I tried.
Go check on Misty.
You know, I'm never going to knock the hustle.
I thought I'd give it a try for once, because I've never tried.
Also, your
the
friend
hustle
didn't pay
before.
for the drinks, I'm just saying.
Lily's already gone.
Ouch.
It's coppers. It's like, I'm not even going to make you like reduce your amount, because this was the real strong cheap stuff as well, like a copper or something for the 3, yeah.
So tomorrow morning she's going to be speaking like Will.
Yeah, basically it was cactus wine, which is fundamentally tequila.
Yes.
Yeah, just doing neat shots of tequila and yeah. Could you pass me either of the chocolates? I'm
Like,
not-
if Lily opens the door to where Misty is staying, I just see like
Misty with a under the
Yeah,
door.
honestly, like this call is still going. You can hear a muffled voice come from the pillow that Misty is asleep on.
don't know if I should interfere with this, but I feel like somebody ought to.
Hello, who's there?
I pull it out, look at it, and open it.
You can see in the mirror there is. It's not like a colour picture. Basically, the mirror has formed into like a 3D picture of what the mirror can see the other side,
Okay.
which is a woman in her late 20s, dressed in like artificer garb, so like lab coats and gold, the full steampunk. And she says, "Sorry, mouthful of chocolate. That was a bad line."
Yeah, you need like a furnace in your back that we will shove the chocolate into.
Back mouth. I love a back mouth. Oh, hello. Sorry. Could you put Misty back on, please? I was in the middle of having a conversation with her.
Looks over. No, Dee, I don't think I can do that, unfortunately.
I'm Ignatia Anverder, Misty's guardian, I suppose, from the university. Would you mind getting her to call me back, please? Need to have some words with her.
Okay, dearie, I can do that, but I don't think she's going to be getting up anytime soon. It looks
That's
like she's
okay.
had a bit too much tonight.
Yeah, about that, are you sort of hanging around with her? Because she always shouldn't be drinking.
How old is she? 'Cause we're very confused.
How old is Misty?
16.
16. She's of legal drinking age, but apparently Ignatia does not think she should be able to. Yeah.
Where she's an adult, she can make her own decisions and
But she usually makes bad ones. About, drinking and striking roppets to things.
Well, I can't say I ever made that kind of a bad decision, but I made a few in my day and never hurt me none. And I'm still
Regardless,
alive.
she's got to get an education.
Sure, dearie. But she's out here, and you're
Yeah,
there.
on that, she actually shouldn't be. Do you know how she got out there? Because apparently she just broke out the dorms one night, and... Well, I say broke out. She She left the dorms.
She left the dorms, okay. Because when you first said broke out, that implies it's a prison. I kind of have a bad... There's a bar there about, like, imprisoning children that I kind of have take
that was more of a DM flub than an in-character one. So don't read that too much in Ignatia, yeah. She just left the dorms when they didn't leave a note or anything, just wandered out into the wilderness on their own.
From where do you... Because I don't know how this works.
The university is in Harlem.
Harlem. Oh, she's not far then. Don't think. Where are we?
Halfway across the continent.
Oh,
Hey,
that far? We're still on the same continent?
where are you?
Do you know, I don't think I should probably divulge that information. I have a bad feeling about it for some reason.
Fine, you know what? The owl will tell me.
I feel like this kind of strange conversation with this weird thing. I miss it know in the morning. And she closes it up, puts it under the pillow on the other side, and puts a shit ton of blankets on top of it in case it brings back. Right. Bed.
You guys all head to your various beds unless anyone else has anything to particularly see. And you wake up fresh in the morning, Misty. Misty. Can I get another concert, please?
Hey, you certainly can. That is not much better. That is 4 for a total of 5.
Hanging like a dog.
Yeah.
The first time you drink. Yeah, did you remember the first time you actually got proper drunk? Yeah.
No.
That's my point. You awake with no memory of the conversation, but with a vague feeling that something bad has happened to you.
Yeah.
And in fact, you can hear in the corner. I'm sure that's playing battle music, so that should probably not technically.
It's very aggressive.
Very dramatic last night. Very dramatic.
Yeah. Given when Misty is likely to wake up, is it very likely that Lily would be nearby and be like, "Here's a glass of water"?
No, for real. You wake up, you feel. You wait. It's like, oh, something bad happened. That like my brain doesn't quite have a handle on it yet.
Yeah.
There's water already.
Yeah.
Here you go, dearie. This will make it better. Have you ever drunk before?
I think it was the popcorn.
I don't think so, dearie.
Yeah,
unless the
put
popcorn
something
is
on
soaked in whiskey.
Oh, I'm still... Because I probably stink of alcohol as well because of
What's
the
your enter?
jacket that I've
What's your enter?
got on.
In the next 10 minutes would be good.
Yeah, I was figuring we'd get there. Yeah.
As an artist, can I fashion? Can I fashion what is effectively just 2 pillows strapped over my head?
You mean just take some tape?
There is no delicate crystal work or
No.
magic cards. It's basically duct tape and pillows, but sometimes, the ancient magics are the strongest.
And embroidery base, so you definitely do that.
Oh, dearie. Oh, dearie. That's not going to help. You ever have a prairie oyster, dear? No.
Roll nature.
Prairie oyster. We're going to go get you something and make you feel a bit better.
It's just food poisoning. That's all that is.
That is not food poisoning.
I tell you, it's bad popcorn.
The mirror is actually ringing again.
Oh yes, that was a very rude lady who said that she was your guardian, said she wanted to talk to you tomorrow. I think we need to get you a little more sober before that. So let's go downstairs and we'll make you
We'll just leave that.
Oh,
Still ringing.
If they're down, when Will walks past and hears it, he'll be like, huh? What's this?
everyone has called this one.
You see a. You actually don't see that. You don't see the woman. You see again like a short man, like very battered lab coat that's clearly seen a lot of shit. Hello. I'm Nicodemus.
Hello.
My
I'm
daughter
William.
wanted me to ring Misty. Do you know where she is?
No, actually.
Would you mind passing on a message?
I can pass on a message. Yes.
Just want to make sure she was okay, really. Ignatius said to say something. I can't read a pardon. Never mind.
I'm sure if it was important, you would have remembered it.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm Nicodemus, by the way. What's your name?
Oh, William.
William. Nice to trying to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
This can only end well.
Right. Yeah, never mind. I'll see you in a bit. Yeah, take care.
Goodbye.
Cool.
So Misty and Lily go downstairs, and Misty and Lily orders a prairie oyster.
Could you roll nature?
Yes. Oh, that's slightly better. I will not find my stats in the Discord chat.
Is this a hangover cure that Lily is prescribing?
Yeah,
so
it's a real
that's
one,
an
actually.
18.
Right. You don't know what a prairie oyster is, but that looks really testicly.
It does look really. It's raw egg, Worcestershire sauce, vinegar, hot sauce, table salt, ground black pepper.
I was getting confused with Rocky Mountain oysters, which is testicles.
That's the other thing you're getting confused of. Yes, this is a prairie oyster.
It still does look quite testicly.
It does look like.
I think I prefer the testicles, and that's it.
This to make you feel right as a reindeer. The old family recipe kills the hangover right quick. I'm not actually sure what in this cures the hangover, but something in it.
Anton, the bar owner, also sort of leans in. Here you go, Wolf, and just places like the inside bits of cucumbers, like the very centre.
Oh yeah.
Basically, 2 bits of cactus and just threads them through your makeshift earmuffs onto your temples, and just like this cold on the temples as well.
So the drink, I mean, even if I wasn't hungover, I'm assuming I need a Constitution save to ensure that I don't vomit it back up.
It's supposed to work, like in real life, it is genuinely supposed to work really well.
There is apparently some kind of scientific basis
okay.
to this, and you are a scientist.
Experimentation, dearie. It's
For science.
Can't save.
Ooh, that's an 18.
Like, weirdly enough, this horrible snot mixture does appear to have some kind of restorative property. Yeah, absolutely. You feel a bit better.
Can we use that as a lesser restoration in future?
No!
Can I, however, order another one of those and a small bottle of the highest proof alcohol for future potion mixing? Mechanically, it won't have any.
You're
effect.
buying Dwarven Spirit from a merchant in The Witcher 3. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely can. Yeah, like it would be like a gold for like raw potion ingredients. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Unless anyone has any other immediate plans, let me know over the next week what kind of things you want to get up to while you're in Fort Morgan over the next day. If you want to stay any longer than that, you're certainly welcome to. I'm not a cop. But otherwise, I think I will draw the session to a close.
Excellent.
I shall.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
On over here.